just living my life, just living my life, just living my life. Just living my life, just living my life, just living my life. It's my time. Just living my life, just living my life, just living my life. It's my time. Just living my life, just living my life, just living my life. It's my time. I came from Philly, then I moved to Harrisburg. Spent time in Cali, blowing on the rarest herb. Made some bread, was a manager then. Good at dealing with people, couldn't handle the pen. Money had me scrambling like Randall back then. Ups and downs with my chick, hard to handle it, man. What's the dough really mean without family and love? Still go for your dreams, but put family above all the shallow shit. People try to take you off your path, you don't allow that shit. Stop wanting love from those that don't know you. Appreciate your folks that seen what you go through. Why would I stop? I don't even know how. Papa Zan, that's the only way I'll slow down. I could entertain y'all, but I'm no clown. Puff and puff on that L till it blows down. Just living my life, just living my life, just living my life. Just living my life, just living my life, just living my life. Just living my life, just living my life.
Like sometimes you'll when it starts sweating, it'll come with the glass.
Nice.
Hey everyone, Anthony with Interviews with Everyday People, sitting here with the band The Hands Resist, which is like 3/4 Faith in Exile.
Pretty much.
Both amazing bands. I'm a fan of both of them. You guys don't have that much to record it yet, right? As of yet,
Working on it.
You're working on it. Yeah. I have some cool questions for you later, so don't worry. I got some stuff planned for you. You were actually behind the curtain. Smurf was supposed to be on the show with Courtney, but it just kind of fell through that day. I kind of had some stuff going on. He was going to have some beers with Courtney, which Courtney was the reigning defending champion for the longest episode, and then Billy Trey came on and said, "Oh no, I'm beating that." And I started to run out of steam, and I didn't know how to carry on the show. And I was like, all right, man, so you got anything else? And Billy sniffed it out because he listens to every show, and he's like, you're not ending this, right? And he looked at this thing, and he's like, we're only 2:45. Like, we got to push the 3. And I was like, all right, Billy, what do you got? And then he started asking me questions. And then he was just on Not Cool in High School, and he kind of talked about being on tour with handguns. The longest Not Cool in High School of ever. That was a 3-hour show. So Billy's like the king of the long shows. Wow. Yeah. We won't keep you here that long, hopefully. But yeah, so if you guys like what you hear, in the links below is all the stuff that you can hear about we're talking about today. Their Facebook pages where you can find them, upcoming shows.
We do have several shows that we stream that are on our Facebook, so you can check them out there, and they're actually fairly decent quality.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, so you can see them there. We'll have all the links below. Also,
very, very, very soon we'll have some stuff for everybody.
Well, how many songs are looking to be on the?
I'm talking a 4 or 5 song EP.
Yeah, there's one song we're not really happy with. We might shelf it until the next one, and we get a chance to rework a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, that's one kind of nice thing is we started kind of going back and looking at the songs we wrote and we've been playing, and just kind of, hey, we got some new ideas to try out.
Awesome.
And one song we just kind of, we all liked it. We liked the parts of it, but just it doesn't. We feel it needs something new.
Yeah.
So we may retool that one and kind of work on that for the next release.
So this is going to be like an impromptu Interviews with Everyday People / banging beer style show. I am sitting on a whole bunch of beers, and I didn't want to drink them all myself. So I figured these guys are coming. We can knock them all out of the park here.
I thought you were bringing the Mickey Ultra.
I didn't have time to stop.
What do you have there?
And the brown bag.
A Budweiser.
Budweiser?
Yeah. In a brown bag.
I can send you home with a Budweiser. My dad just brought home the Budweiser Jim Beam. It's a bourbon aged Jim Beam. I had it yesterday. It's good. I mean, if you like Budweiser, I think you'll like it. Yeah.
That's
it's a little pony bottle. You can have it.
I'm not even a huge Budweiser fan. I found out that my local watering hole Peps in Port Carbon is technically a restaurant, so they'll serve me 40s that I can just drink there. So I've just been drinking 40s at the bar, so I kind of picked it up because that's what I've been getting.
That's the way to go.
It doesn't matter what it is as long as it's in a brown bag.
Yeah.
It just makes it ring.
The best was the moment you realize that revelation.
Oh yeah,
And then it's like, oh my god, wait, you mean I could just get a glass and drink this 40 in the back? Like, holy shit.
So then it was just 40s and gangster rap all night. The whole bar was pissed.
Are you play the gangster rap?
Yeah, all night, yeah. Then ruined everything.
It's very interesting. A guy in a heavy metal band with a gangster rap. I kind of
Oh,
like that.
he loves
I
he loves
love
the
it.
old school gangster.
It's because Header, like, what I found, so I'm slowly starting to diverse more in music. I thought I liked heavy metal, and then I had you guys on and a few other people, and they're like, talked heavy metal. I was like, I don't know any of this. Right? I'm way out of, like, I like the shit that you guys would make fun of me for thinking it's heavy metal. But like, Header, we always thought we talk with Header, and Header just hates everything that's not metal. Like, you're like, what do you think about this, Header? He goes, hate it. Fucking hate it. You know what I mean? But he does like Look Alive. He really likes Look Alive.
Heather likes hard rock and stuff
Yeah.
too. So like he will branch out from.
Yeah, he
that,
does.
but not to like.
Nickelback.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nickelback.
Header, AC/DC, all that stuff. Header's always loved. So.
Yeah. So when he said Look Alive, I was like, that's the best review you can get in my opinion. If Header likes
Yeah.
we'll pour the first one here. Do you want to get the hoppy one out of the way first?
Yeah.
All right. We'll get that one done.
Poor Ron.
So this is all from the
Rip Ron.
Beak and Sniff. Beak Skiff. Sorry, I don't know why I put an N in there. It's not even close. Beak Skiff 1911 hard ciders. So these were all donated by the Pops. It's our first cider episode, so
There you go, Ron.
it smells like weed.
All hop smells like weed.
No,
Holy shit, it does smell like weed.
dude,
that's
the Sweetwater Brewing 420 like G13 strain beer smells like liquid pot.
Yeah,
Like,
I have a beer in the fridge, Hemp Tails.
I got one at
and it
Reverb.
smells like
yeah.
weed.
I'm seeing a bunch of like hemp beers and stuff. Like
The hemp beers are
all
really
over the
fucking.
place.
I like
I
them.
got one at Reverb, and I'm like, this beer smells like pot.
Good.
It does smell like pot. It's like apple pot.
It's really good. It's really good. It's actually really.
Tastes a lot better than it smells.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
It's like apple pot.
That's fucking
I
great.
go to take a taste and I feel like I'm at a festival and then it tastes like beer.
That's a good cider.
That's really good.
I did not expect it to be hoppy. Like, it's not even that hoppy.
No, not really.
Yeah, I thought it
smells
was going to be way more overpowering.
It
Yeah.
smells it, but it doesn't really taste it.
Yeah, that's
I can get behind that.
that's tasty. So we'll start with the first questions here. How did the band come about?
I guess a Nothing Face cover band is how
Yeah.
we all ended up in a room together.
Basically.
Yeah, we were just, it came up somehow. I don't
Just
even
bring it a
remember.
little bit more into you.
Oh.
That's right.
I-
you could bring it too closer. It moves, so you don't have to break
at
your
that.
back. Yeah,
Check that out.
spina bifida by the end of the show.
Yeah, we ended up just, let's play some Nothing Face songs together, and we had a couple practices, and then we kind of were like, this is cool, but it's not that cool. And
Yeah. I think Andy got sick. too.
Yeah.
yeah, something
So, like,
happened.
yeah,
Something
we
happened.
were-
It just kind of went.
Matt Holt from Nothing Face had like recently died. Like, yeah, it'd be cool if we did like because we all like grew up. That was one of like our favorite bands. Like that kind of broke that new metal mold back in like the late '90s, early 2000s. And we're like, hey, the singer just died. We're definitely never gonna get to see them again. Let's throw a tribute together, play one night. So we ended up getting together, jamming it out. And yeah, I got sick. I was sick for like I didn't have a voice for like a month, and then just kind of all like fell apart from there.
Yeah,
But that was a cool like introduction, so everybody could kind of get in the same room together.
Yeah.
And like
Which is
kind
like-
of see how we play music with each other, and then eventually it was just like, hey, like let's start something.
Yeah.
See what happens.
That honestly, I could be super biased because it is our area, but that's one of my favorite things about this area is there's so many different bands and so many different genres, and it's just great how everyone is just on the same team for the most part. Like,
Yeah.
like, hey, you guys are in a band, and you're in a band, but let's work on something together, and no one really gets upset, no one gets like bummed about it. Like, kind of segue to the next the next thing I want to ask you is like, for me, like with the Crowbot show, when they came home, they played the Dio tribute, and they're just like, oh, we're gonna sneak people here and there, and they brought you up, they brought a bunch of people. What was that like playing with them again for probably the first time in a long time, right?
I was very nervous for the first time in a long time on stage.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I wasn't just like playing with guys that are a class above. Like, I'm also playing an instrument that I've never played live for the first time because I played bass then.
Yeah.
And it was fun. I mean, those guys are they're all good buddies and stuff. So it was cool to get something to, get on stage with them. And it's going to be rare, at this point with where they're at to even get to share a stage with them. So
Yeah.
all in all, it was cool. And like you said, I was nervous as shit though. And like, I definitely pushed off practicing those songs a little too long. I spent the whole day in the parking lot, like with my cell phone, going over them. But all in all, it was good. I was, obviously it was a fun time.
Yeah, a lot of people that traveled up for that show, like Crowbot fans who came from like Virginia and traveled all over the place to see that show to support Brandon and his father who we just lost. Which makes that show even more significant now because it was something that like it was a tribute for him and it was something that he really like. He hung out with me. He was standing like before the show started. I said, "You better come up to the stage and rock out with me." And he's like, "I'll be up there." And I was like, "All right." He may or may not. And then as soon as the show started, he's standing right next to me and just nudged me and goes, "You ready?" And I'm like, I'm ready. I'm ready.
That's awesome.
And the entire time, man, like every song, he was just like in awe. He kept looking at me and going, "Wow, wow!" Like he absolutely loved it. Like he had such a good time, man. And I was doing the same thing. Like, holy shit, this is fucking great.
Oh, I couldn't believe it. Like, and especially, there's no better person to sing for a Dio tribute than Brandon. Because like he was literally perfect. It was scary.
His voice, he's up there with like he could like. I feel like that band is just only going more and more up, and when it finally catches, people are gonna like. He can be in a class all of his own. He can go down one of the best vocalists, I think.
Oh yeah,
like you know what I mean. Like
his range is ridiculous.
People always say like the Cornells, the Dios. Like he's up.
I was just about to say that. Like
he
he's
can be
like
there.
Chris Cornell level good, which is extremely rare.
Exactly. But yeah, that show was so much fun. It was funny because they had a fan set up for you.
Yeah,
and it blinded you the whole show. Your beard was up over your eyes.
I had to pretty much stand like facing the opposite direction because every time I turned around, it was up in my eyes and it was already dark. I'm like, this situation can't
Sam
get
looked
any more
great.
worse.
Sam looked great. Sam's hair was blowing in the wind.
Oh, yeah.
He looked majestic. Yeah. But that for people that were outsiders who came up to that show, maybe didn't understand a lot of the guest spots that were swinging in and out. But like for people that are in the music scene and know, it's like, oh man, that's awesome that they're up there playing. It was it was a really good day. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of get some insight from you how you felt about that show.
The other thing that was really cool about that too was Keysock playing guitar. Like he's like an old school name that I've always heard. Oh, he's so good, and like never would have thought I would have got a chance to jam with him either. So that was pretty neat, just like getting to be in a room with him and like work on some stuff. And he is definitely as good as I've always heard.
Yeah. It was unbelievable. It was such a fun show. If you missed it, you fucked up.
Yeah.
You fucked up. It was awesome. But yeah, so band, how long has this project been going now? Or this band, sorry, not project.
Almost, about 2 years?
2 years-ish, yeah.
So Smurf had reached out. Like I hadn't been in a band for a while. Just kind of nothing was coming along. I was just working by myself.
Now you're in everything.
Yeah, right. And Smurf had messaged me about potentially singing because they were looking to revamp some stuff with their band Tusco. And then we were like, hey, we have a new project. Let's try to go from there. I'm like, yeah, let's fucking do it. I haven't done anything in a long time. I want to sing. Let's do it. And then it was kind of Fody and Smurf were together, and then we brought Ron in, and then went through a few different bass players.
Funny story actually is me and Andy were like in our first band together with Dave Cantwell.
Yeah, Dave Cantwell in his fucking attic in Shenandoah.
Covering Metallica.
Yeah. What was it called?
I don't even remember. I don't think we ever named it. But
was that the band? I forget. Dave said he was in a band, and the name was like horrible. It was a horrible name.
Oh, he had a band. Was it Stillborn?
Stillborn.
Yeah,
that was it.
That was his
yeah. I knew. I was gonna say abortion, but it wasn't. But it was.
It wasn't that bad, but
yeah, it wasn't as. It was close. Yeah, Stillborn.
But yeah, no. Smurf and I met Dave because Smurf and I have known each other since high school, so like 20 years now.
Yeah.
And we jammed with Dave and Header, I think too.
Yeah, he played.
So
I didn't know Header played instruments.
Yeah.
Until we really started learning more about him because he's just always like wrestling. He's just wrestling video games. He's an amazing fit for the show. I love him on the show.
Yeah.
Like
he's actually like an awesome like front man and like he's incredible.
Well, he has that wrestling thing where he's just not afraid. He just goes out and puts a show on. He's just showman. He's just showman.
One of my favorite things is when he played. We had a band called As Each Day Dies a bunch of years ago, and he played guitar in it, but he was the rhythm player. But everyone thought he was the lead player just because of the way he acted.
Yeah,
like Header's like running around, headbanging, shirts off.
I'd love to. I would love to see him play again, like just like a one-off.
Yeah.
If he's in a room and someone's playing that he wants to go see, and there's a song on the set list that he knows, he will be on stage.
Yeah.
It's just, hey, I'm coming.
It's just so hard to get him into a bar.
Yeah.
He's done it a few times with Faith.
Yeah. He. I guess he played a song in I always say cosplay, but sometimes it's borderline drag.
It's drag.
Yeah.
It's totally drag.
And he was as Lady Gaga and came up and sang "Bad Romance." I think it was a Faith and Exile show.
Oh man.
It was somebody's show. He went up and did it. But yeah, he did it in full. Drag.
You do a Holy Diver with us with a kissing booth.
Yeah.
He used to do a trooper all the time with us.
Yeah. Trooper.
But that is just funny. So you guys have some stuff going on recording. You said you have a 5-song EP coming out. Any timeline this year, early next year?
We're hoping to get the drums tracked within the next month. So
Get a nice drum machine.
We're working on it.
Yeah.
We just keep joking with Ron.
We're gonna replace them with computers.
I'm hanging on by a thread. Very, very soon, I will have nothing left to do. I'll be the guy who carries around everybody's cables. Be like, hey, I used to play drums. I used to be in bands. Now there's a box.
Ron, can we borrow your trailer?
Yeah.
We need to put the computer in it.
Hey, old drum guy, go load our shit.
You're the new Dave Martin of the band.
Got him.
Man, that's just not cool.
Hey, listen, he gets a lot of shit, but
I
he's
quit all the bands.
he's a fucking phenomenal drummer. Like, all jokes aside, he's good at what he does, man. Like, last night's show sounded phenomenal.
No, Ron is really good. It's just fun to make fun.
He's
of.
just
Yeah.
a drummer. Yeah.
Yeah, drummers
Yeah.
get shit, but he's fucking great. He's
I mean,
really
it
good.
doesn't matter which band. He's just constantly.
Yeah, it never.
The minute he feels good about himself, he gets cocky. So you just
you
gotta,
gotta
keep,
keep-
keep him down here. a
Yeah.
little bit.
It must be a drummer thing because Cantwell gets that all the time too with the
That's
voice.
just 'cause he's good.
It's the day. I remember the first Faith and Exile practice when we brought Andy in. I mean, he's been harassing me for years. Smurf has been harassing me for years. So that was nothing new when we started the band. But the first day we brought Andy in at a Faith and Exile practice, it was like, okay, here's the new guy, blah, blah, blah. It was nothing like that. Within the first 5 minutes of being there, I was just getting crushed by the new guy.
But I just kind of carried it over from hand resist practices.
Yeah.
All right, let's bust. You guys pick which one you want next. Do you want the donut, cranberry, the regular cider, or the cherry?
I kind of want the cherry.
Cherry?
Yeah.
We're good with that? We'll go cherry. Now, last time you were on, you were wearing an amazing video game t-shirt. You were wearing a Resident Evil 2 t-shirt.
Yes.
Like, have you been playing anything lately?
I just picked up.
We'll get nerdy here. We'll just combine all the
Sure.
shows.
I just picked up that Death Stranding, that
Okay.
new Kojima game. I only got to play it for like 2 hours because of how busy I was this weekend, but I have no idea what's going on. But it's,
I don't think anyone does.
It's a pretty weird ass game, but it's cool as shit so far. So
Yeah.
I got to dive into it a little more. But
I've been playing Luigi's Mansion 3. It's the greatest Ghostbusters game ever made.
Really?
It's awesome. You just walk around with a vacuum cleaner and suck up ghosts as Luigi. Sounds stupid, but when you play it, it's fucking amazing.
yeah, it's probably really fun.
And then Pokemon comes out this week.
I don't play new games.
Yeah.
I'm currently playing Skyrim again. So,
Yeah,
Well, that game can last you forever.
but
Yeah.
recently I just played through Castlevania Symphony of the Night. So that tells you where I'm at on video games.
Yeah.
Ron has a
I'm undecided on that one.
It smells like
It's more
wine.
like wine.
very
It's more like wine. Yeah.
rosé all day,
Ooh,
baby.
yeah, that's nice.
It's rosé-ish.
tastes like it's classy.
Yeah,
It's more like a.
Pinky's
It
out,
might.
man.
It might be a black cherry, but it does taste
It's
like.
good though.
That is tasty.
It's like room temperature A treat.
They're gluten free, guys. I don't know if that matters anything. This is a gluten free beer.
That's because it's made with apples. There's no glutens in apples.
They're all 6.9s, which is pretty cool.
Well, that's
really.
pretty
Yeah.
the gluten's in there.
Except the actual cider is a 5.5.
Wow.
This one's really good too.
I'm not even sure what these guys are out of. I should probably look that up and give them a little plug.
This
here,
is
right?
like a dangerous 6.9 though, 'cause
Yeah.
it tastes like drinks like a soda.
Yeah. The both of them so far drink like that. Drinks like one of those not your father's ginger ales almost.
Yeah. Super like light and easy to drink.
I'm really a fan of this one.
You like the cherry one?
No, not
Yeah,
the hop.
I'm really surprised you
The
like
hop
that
one's
one.
The not hop guy.
Yeah, the one that you're
All
like,
about it,
can we
yeah.
get that out of the way first? Yeah.
Yeah.
Go get another one.
Yeah.
So I guess it's just the line is the 1911 hop ciders. That's the line. And then it's actually Beacon Skiff Apple Orchard in Lafayette, New York. So they're a New York thing. I think that's where my dad was at, and he got them.
Yeah, these are actually I'm not I like ciders are okay, but like these are actually really good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm definitely enjoying them. They're fun.
These are the best ciders I've ever had. Like everything else I had was just like, oh, this is just all sugar and like gross. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like if I drink this, I'll have the worst hangover in the world.
Yeah, I when the Reds first came out, I was really into them. I thought they were good. I thought there was something different. and I used to get a Reds, drink like a quarter of it, and then get a shot of Fireball or hopefully Jack Daniel Fire, and then pour the shot in the beer, and it was like a cinnamon apple then. It was awesome.
Nice.
And I would get fucking lit. And then the next day I'd wake up and I'd be like, my fucking
did I do?
head.
Yeah.
My head hurts so bad because it's all the sugar and stuff.
Yeah.
But they were fun.
I used to like the woodchuck back in the day was like the first one that was readily available.
I think everybody
that was
had
always good. The pear one was awesome. I was just talking about this yesterday with someone too. Like we were reminiscing about ciders for some reason.
Did you get to go to the Brewfest yesterday?
No, I did not. I had a friend's co-ed baby shower.
Oh.
A buddy of mine's they're having their first kid, so
Yeah.
a Halloween themed baby shower is pretty cool.
That's awesome.
And I was
What's his name?
Zach Shopper.
Yeah. I actually own one of his books. Like one of his. Remember he used to make this stuff.
Yeah.
I have the Necromon. The
Necronomicon. Yeah,
Necromon.
dude, he does awesome work with that.
I bought it, and then I think Heidi met his wife through another friend.
And Nikki.
Through Nikki, and they were hanging out. And then Heidi was like, "Oh my god! Like my husband came home with this really cool thing." And then years later, I was like, "Holy fuck! I own something you made like 10 years ago." And he's like, "Really?" I was like, "Yeah." I showed a picture of it and stuff. It was really, really good. It's like an
dude,
old
he has
cigar
some really
box.
Cool stuff. He makes he used to do Michael Myers masks a lot too.
Really?
Yeah.
I have one. I bought one year.
He did really, really, really great work.
Yeah.
And lately, he's just been kind of retooling. Like he bought the new Myers mask from the newest Halloween, and he like made it screen accurate.
Really?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, he's super talented.
Very
And then
talented.
when it comes to like making horror stuff and prints, Charles Moran.
Oh yeah, Chuck. He is really
Chuck, yeah,
amazing stuff.
Chuck's awesome, man. I'm begging him to make prints of his Warriors poster he made.
Dude, that was really cool.
I didn't get a chance to go see it or
Yeah.
buy it. And he does a lot of cool stuff with the drive-in too. He makes a
Yeah.
whole bunch of stuff for the drive-in.
Yeah,
so.
his artwork is awesome.
Yeah, the Exorcist one he did is really cool.
Yeah.
Where he did, it looks like the cover, but instead of like where the light's coming, ever see the cover of the Exorcist where the priest or the cardinal's
Yeah.
outside and like the light shining on him? Well, the light shining on him, but instead of the whole image, it's in an upside down cross. And then in the like up in the window, he drew like Reagan,
Yeah.
like out the silhouette of Reagan's eyes, were like that's it's like that taking that scene and just chopping it together.
Yeah.
It looks so fucking
man,
good.
it's
Yeah,
awesome.
it's awesome. He's super talented.
That's crazy.
Yeah, let's fuck around with this a little bit.
Oh boy.
Let's see what we get.
Oh boy.
So these are pod decks.
Settle in, boys. We're in for it.
They're not nothing crazy. Nothing like it's not gonna be like. If it was our questions, we'd be like, "What's your favorite porn?" But no, nothing. That happened on the Apollo.
How much time we got?
We don't got. There's not enough hours.
That happened during the Apollo 88 show. Yeah, Bane was wearing a Riley Reid shirt. But the only reason he's wearing it is because he's a Blink-182 fan, and she was wearing the nurse outfit. Yeah. All right, so these are pod decks. We talked about them on the show. You can get them at poddecks.com. They do interviews decks and an episode deck. So if you're a podcaster or you're looking to become a podcaster and you need some cool ideas for questions, you can do it this way, or you can, try it yourself. But I like this because they're cool people, and I want to plug them a little bit. This might be a weird question. I don't know how many of you guys. This wouldn't apply to me at all because I'm not a reader. But what book belongs on everyone's shelf? If we can't do books, we'll do music albums.
I can do books.
You can do books? All
Yeah,
right.
definitely. Personally, I think Lord of the Rings,
Really?
or The Hobbit is
Yeah.
is a must read for everybody. It's either that it would have to be either that or I don't know, some Stephen King book.
Yeah.
I'm a huge Stephen.
I've
King
only ever
fan,
read
so-
one book cover to cover
Oh really?
on my own that I sought out when not being in school. Like, well, you got to read this. I read I Am Ozzy, which is Ozzy's like autobiography.
yeah.
It's fucking amazing. It was one of the best books I've ever. And then I'm into audiobooks. I've been doing that a lot. I'm working on The Dirt right now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing.
I read the Nikki Sixx
Heroin
autobiography.
Diaries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is fucked up.
if it's anything like The
crazy.
Dirt, I can
Yeah.
only imagine.
It's like it gets like uncomfortable to read at some point because all this shit that he did. Like it's pretty wild.
Yeah. They were savages. Like they were banging each
they
other's
were-
girlfriends, wives,
yeah,
mothers
they
if
were
they could.
insane,
They were
yeah.
crazy.
At
and
the
they,
same time.
Yeah. and like they didn't know about it until years later. Like they were savages.
Yeah.
Did you hear about the stuff that's going on between Motley Crue and Steel Panther?
Oh, it's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Awesome. So if you don't know,
That was so funny.
Steel Panther did this interview with he's like a 15-year-old kid. Like he's
really?
yeah, he's like a little kid, and somehow he gets on tour buses with bands and does interviews. When he was really young, he interviewed Ghost, but he just did a nameless ghoul, but it was Papa. But he did the interview, and they're like, if you could bring any rocker back from the dead, who would it be? And then Stick said the drummer. I forget which one he said, but he didn't say what's
Vince Neil.
and then Michael Starr said, "Oh, Vince Neil."
Yeah.
And they looked at each other, and Stick's like, "He's not dead." And he's like, "He's not?" He's like, "No." And he's like, then I want to bring back the old Vince Neil because that guy's long dead." And then I guess Nikki Sixx was
got
like,
all butthurt about
yeah, he
it.
got butthurt about it and saying that they're assholes and stuff. And he goes, "You guys are just a clear ripoff of us." And they were like, "Yeah, we know."
That's kind of our thing.
We're well aware of our gimmick. You know what I mean? And then I guess they've been going out and playing Motley Crue songs.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh,
and like saying like, "Hey, you guys, you miss old Motley Crue? We can still do that."
Yeah.
Like,
Wow.
it's awesome.
Dude, I love the grills me with Vince Neil.
I wanted to buy the shirt at the show, but they didn't have it. It says it's a Steel Crowbot shirt, or it's a Steel Panther shirt, and it says "Treat Your Girl Right," and it's all in white font, except the T in "treat" is like black faded, so it like looks like it's not on the shirt. Unless you're really close, you can see it says "Treat Your," but it looks like it says "Eat Your Girl Right." It's awesome shirt. Yeah, but they were a good time. But I actually got like in a heckling thing with them at the show right before we exited. I said something like they were talking about it, and I go, "Oh, rest in peace, Vince Neil." And Satcha goes, "You shut the fuck up, or I'll fuck your girlfriend." And I said, "You won't." And then Michael Starr looked at me and goes, "And after he fucks your girlfriend, I'm gonna fuck your mom, dude." And I went, "Fuck yeah!" And he gave me one back, and I was like, "I talked to Steel Panther. I'm done."
Yeah.
And then we left because it was the best night of my life. Yeah.
Well, now there's a large possibility that Vince Neil may actually die now because the freaky things have happened. Anytime that Smurf and I are in a room with
Oh,
Vince
yeah.
Neil,
Oh, yeah.
within a week somebody dies. The most recent one was
Cars.
The Cars.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah, we found out mutually that like we really liked the band The Cars, and it was like a big conversation after practice, and like the next day he died. And I was like, we're not allowed to talk about musicians we like
Who
anymore.
else did we kill?
We killed somebody else.
Yeah.
Well, there's,
Like a month earlier.
There's the bee incident. Remember you were
Oh
talking
yeah,
about
we
bees?
were talking about
and
the
then
bee.
you
That's
got-
stung by a
yeah.
bee when we played Dark and Heavy Fest up in Scranton.
So we're all huge Nickelback fans, right?
yeah.
I love
Nickelback. I can't
Yeah,
wait to
stuff.
see them.
Yeah, I like the first one.
I only like the early stuff.
It's a clear
I'm an
joke.
OG Nickelback fan.
we don't wish death on Nickelback, but
Yeah.
but maybe they just take a long break.
A really strong like ankle injury.
You know, I honestly, I can't really say I hate Nickelback in the sense of them being as a band because they don't like affect my listening whatsoever.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
like, there's way worse things out there.
Yeah. I mean, they're all incredible musicians and
Yeah.
people,
They
really are, yeah.
and like,
But-
I'm sure. But
What
They're also
if they're the
Nickelback.
nicest guys ever?
I'm sure they are.
yeah, they're just.
I mean,
like-
they are Canadian.
Yeah, they're just kind of like a meme to me now.
Yeah.
you know? Like,
They're probably like, "Oh, shucks, everyone hates us."
It's probably Nickelback fans that make everybody not like Nickelback.
Yeah.
That's usually how it works.
I always appreciated the fact that they wrote Rockstar, and they're just like, no, we're just sellouts.
yeah.
Like,
They're like,
there's
yeah.
an entire genre of people that are acting like they're not that, and then they're like, no, it's us. We're,
like,
we're literally just writing shitty
someone
music
gave
for
me-
money. Like, it don't even matter.
If someone was like, "Here, we'll give
at
you
least you're
the-"
owning it.
That is very true.
I would sell out in a heartbeat. I don't know. Like, yeah, let's do it.
Did we just become Nickelback fans?
yeah, I think we did. What does
I
that
would say I would rather listen to
Wanna go to
Nickelback
the
than
garage and do
Five Finger
karate?
Death. I'd rather listen to Nickelback than Five Finger Death Punch. Though.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Dave was just at a show. What the hell was it? Fucking who was he just at?
Oh, that was like a day to remember.
Day to
I
remember.
Prevail.
So a girl that I work with was actually going to the show as well, and I was like, "What are they good?" She goes, "Oh, they're amazing. I love them." And I put them on. I was like, "They're the Backstreet Boys with instruments."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
And Dave was like selling them like they're the hardest things ever, and I was like, "What the fuck, bro?"
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I really liked their first album.
Okay.
For those who have heart, because it was like a mix of like pop punk and hardcore.
He said to me last night, he goes, "Bro, as soon as they hit their first song, the wave pushed in." I'm like, "What wave?" Like the wave of women rushing to the stage.
But like after that,
Tampons.
what's funny is their
everywhere.
singer, like, I don't know, he's like, he could never sing live.
Really?
No, I don't know if he can now, but like I saw them at Croc Rock with like Newfound Glory and 4 Years Strong a bunch of years ago, and I'm like, basically all his clean parts he let the crowd sing because he couldn't hit his notes.
Wow.
So I'm like,
That's
yeah.
tough.
Yikes.
That's tough.
But they're hugely popular, so I think it's good for them.
Yeah.
So is there any other books out there that you guys would throw on that shelf that everyone has to have?
Bodie took mine because Lord of the Rings is definitely there.
Yeah. He's a pretty big reader. He reads some weird shit.
Yeah, I haven't really read recently though. I think if I had to say something that should be on everybody's shelf, I would say something like Animal Farm, something that's like really, or like 1984, something like that.
Yeah.
Something that's really,
because it's turning true.
yeah, exactly. Something like that where there's, holy shit, this happened. This is actually how the world's turning out.
Yeah. It is getting crazy, right?
Like 1984 is like it's going to be like nonfiction soon.
It's like a blueprint.
Yeah,
It's like
it's scary.
It's like a Simpsons episode.
Yeah.
Holy shit, like he predicted it.
They
Like,
nailed
right?
it. They
It's
fucking
happening.
nailed it. That's what Tom Clancy is terrified of, like all the Tom Clancy stuff.
Yeah.
You got anything? Or do
Ron can't read.
do drummers read? Drummers actually don't read.
Yeah, Ron can't read.
Anything I read is really not anything in that genre of stuff. I read a lot of outdoor stuff and a lot of old Indian stuff and Greek stuff, all about old culture and whatnot like that.
Okay.
So there's a lot of really cool ideals and that kind of stuff. It really kind of can set your thinking in a really neat place. But
History
I have
stuff's
nothing
really
specific.
cool.
I love
Yeah.
One thing, actually, I guess I would say, Edgar Allan Poe, anything. When Walden Books is at the mall going out of business, they had the entire, it was like $7. It was like every single Poe story in
Oh,
one
wow.
book. It was like $7. I'm like, I need that.
I would say, generally speaking, anything that forces you to think,
Yeah.
anything that forces you to understand metaphor or interpret metaphor, or anything that stimulates thought process,
Yeah,
anybody should read.
like a Joe Rogan podcast. What does he always say? Do you ever do DMT, bro?
Yeah.
All right, let's try some donuts. Let's get some cider in us. Sorry, I was told this is very sweet.
I'll probably like it.
I hope it doesn't smell like coffee. No, not at all. Wow,
Oh, you don't like coffee?
I hate coffee. That's every porter to me, or not
Did
every
you
porter.
like the England porter?
Every
Bitch.
stout. I did. It didn't
Bitch.
because it was a porter, not much of a stout.
It just tastes like Chocolate World smells.
Yeah.
It's great. It's great.
It's fantastic.
Oh, yeah,
I love
it's
that
good.
porter.
Yeah. All right, so we'll get the next one here. We'll go right up top of the deck.
It's very sweet.
All right, this could be a fun one. What is one bad habit you are trying to get rid of?
Spending money.
I'm the same way.
Not drinking.
Sorry. Welcome to the show. In my defense, you came with a 40.
Yeah. You want to come on my podcast and violate your probation?
Whoops. These are all sodas. Wow, that is. Wow.
Weird.
Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about it.
It definitely donut.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
It has a super donut aftertaste.
Yeah, it's a donut beer or donut cider.
Wow.
They nailed it, I guess.
Yeah, if that's what you're going for, man, you
Yeah,
crushed
it's-
it.
Yeah,
It's like an apple, fritter donut.
yeah. That's definitely too much for me. I would only be.
Yeah, I
drinking,
couldn't.
Yeah, I'm glad we're only
Yeah.
doing small samples.
Yeah, I couldn't
Yeah.
drink this whole.
That'd be a
can,
tough
I
full
think.
can.
It's like that sugary that like feel like I gotta brush my teeth.
Yeah.
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 You know what? This one actually might be better, like warm.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a.
It's not terrible though.
Apple cider.
I'm digging it. Like I think this is a cool, like it would be good for like a flight beer. Try a flight
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah,
Like I said, it might be nice warm. Like,
If you put some whiskey in it, it'll be like a good like boilo.
man.
yeah. That's an idea.
So what's
It's a good gift.
Yeah.
Never a good.
It's a good gift.
Yeah.
Package it and send it to someone else.
Yeah. what happened for you? So when you guys talk, you just gotta turn a little bit.
What was the question?
What's one bad habit you're trying to get rid of?
I have many that you should get rid of.
One bad habit, I'm trying to bite my fucking nails.
Really?
Yeah, I have a big thing about it, especially when I'm at work, if I'm thinking about something, because like I'm like in the welding and fabrication field, so like if I'm
You're doing the
sitting
work
there
of two people.
I'm doing work of a lot of people. Sometimes I feel it gets crazy, but like if I'm sitting there like looking at a blueprint and everything's just completely screwed up, like I'll sit there, I'll just
No, go
fucking
down.
eat my nails, and I don't know why I do it. It just but yeah, it's something that just pisses me off, and I don't know why I do it. So
I can agree. I bite around my nails, like the skin. I don't bite the actual nail. Because I have a bad habit of biting the nail too deep, and then
Yeah.
I somehow broke biting the nail portion, but now I chew like around, like my thumb's fucking bleeding.
What about you?
Oh man. Yeah. Is watching porn one of them?
No, that's not. No, I mean unless you're watching a lot of it.
Well, I just can't. Oddly, Beaner thought I was in the bathroom last night jerking off.
Were you?
At
No,
Stryker?
man, I was getting changed.
Oh.
He said he walked in and heard I was taking my shorts off, putting pants back on again. And he heard a belt going, and he walked right out. He was like, "Dude, were you beating your dick?" And I'm like, "No, man, I was fucking changing. Why would you do that in the bathroom? It was the handicapped one. That's not classy at all."
Just need a little more room.
Or that's just that's
Is that like, is like your pre-show ritual? You got to get the poison out before you get out. Right.
No, I really got to stop trying to do 2 days worth of work in one day. Because I'll be dead before I'm 35.
Yeah.
I do.
You procrastinate and then you try to get...
No, I don't procrastinate. I just try to do everything.
Yeah.
I try to do everything. I'm involved in so much stuff between 2 bands, my full-time job, my part-time jobs, running a business. I have so much shit going on. I just got to really start using a calendar.
Yeah.
So spread it out a little.
Right.
Mine's definitely spending money as well. Heidi was like, we were talking about it on the Bang and Beers one yesterday. I said my greatest asset is probably also my weakness. I don't think it is, but it's just the way I am. Like where I go and see like a wrestling show or I go see a band, and I'm like, all right, I got $50 to my name, and it's gonna last me till Friday. But I really like this band. I already have 2 of their shirts, but they just came out with a 3rd, and I really want to show that support. And then I buy it, and I go home, and I'm like, I'm broke. And she goes, why? I'm like, because I wanted to be supportive. Like
I was being a good guy.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's probably, like, I overspend. Like, I go to wrestling shows, and I have to be put on a strict budget.
Like, here's your allowance.
Yeah, like, you get $60 for the night, knowing wrestling show. Like, I bought 3 last night. I bought one guy, Ace Austin. He's like a local guy who just got signed to Impact. And his wrestling shirt is Austin 316. It says Ace Austin 316, and he was doing a whole angle where he was trying to bang every wrestler's wife. So his shirt said Austin 316. I just banged your wife. I was like, gotta buy that shirt. And then I bought obviously the Dusty Rose.
Yeah, I like that.
And I got an Adam Cole shirt because he's also kind of a local guy that is now in NXT.
He's from
but-
what, Lancaster?
Lancaster, yeah, and his move's called the Panorama Sunrise. It should be called the Lancaster Sunrise. Like, it would be great. But yeah, that's probably my biggest weakness is spending money as well.
Yeah, that's
I could get
mine.
behind that. I have a problem with Amazon after I have a couple drinks by myself at my house in my bar. Right? You think about something like, man, I should look at that.
Purchases.
Oh man, that's a great price. And then you hit it, and because technology is smarter than humans, they give you all those lists of things that you would be suggested buys.
Yeah, you know
So
what
then
the
you buy
goal
all
is.
of them at the
Yes.
same time.
Yep. I think Cantwell did that for a while there. Like the one time he's like got drunk and I guess bought some stuff on Amazon, and then a couple weeks later he's like, "Here's your case of condoms you bought." Like, and Cantwell's like, and let's be real, he's never using them.
I'm literally just gonna say that.
And they didn't, and none of them fit. No, joking. We love you, Dave. But yeah, that's I do that sometimes. I get a little bit of the bubbly in me, and then I buy stuff I probably shouldn't buy.
Amazon's a hell of a drug.
Yeah, that's
And you get just as many nosebleeds as you do with cocaine. You know?
yeah, it's just, that swipe feature is a bitch where you don't have to hit the buy, like you just hit the buy now button.
Yeah.
Like I was just trying to scroll by it.
Yeah, I bought it.
I used that buy now feature a few times for as an excuse.
Every single fucking
Hottie's like, "What did you order?" I was like, "Nothing." And she's like, "It's here." And I was like, "You know what probably happened?" As I was scrolling on my phone, I hit the buy now. And then she didn't use Amazon that much, so she didn't realize that
It's a very purposeful movement.
Yes. And then she caught on. She's like, "You're full of shit. That's not working no more." I'm like, I got to come up with a new excuse.
I gotta say I don't do that though.
No?
That's a good thing. I don't get drunk and go shop on Amazon. I just have a bad habit of there's always something better that I want.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, or deals.
which
Like
is how I ended up with my new guitar rig. Fucking
deals get me all the time.
Sorry.
Vinyls for me. There's been a couple of days where I come home and there's a fucking $300 vinyl on the fucking porch. And I'm like, what is this? And I'm like, oh my god, I fucking bought that. And I'm like, I look at it in the receipts and I'm like, you fucking bastard.
what is one vinyl you're proud of owning?
I actually have a Pig Destroyer vinyl. It was one of 100 and it was a friends and family pressing only. Some chump put it up on Discogs and I ended up getting it. So
It's a cool site.
yeah. Well, it's dangerous too, like in terms of the buying stuff. But it's like one you can't buy. It was just one that they relapse pressed for them to hand out to their friends and family. And I don't know which one of them put it online, but I ended up getting it.
Yeah. When I try to go back and get some of the old Crowbot vinyls, like I don't have a vinyl player, but I just like collecting them because they're buddies and obviously they're doing great things. I was like, I gotta find their first albums on vinyl because you couldn't buy them on the website at that time. and I went on that site, and I kind of found it by accident, and I didn't realize how many different vinyls were produced for them. Like there's special, like just European versions, or ones that were just made for the record label that have like a mix of their first 2 albums together. I was like, holy fuck, that's kind of cool. Like, and the one was like a 1 of 50, and it was made for like the people who made the album, and just for, like a friend of the family one, and people put them up. Like somebody from Italy was selling the one from Europe, and I was like, how crazy is that? Like, like I couldn't imagine creating something and then somebody from another country owns my shit. Went out and bought a limited run of my stuff because they like it just blows my mind. Like I couldn't. That's got to be such a cool.
It's a weird feeling. I remember when like that in Tusco when that random like. What was it? They did a review on us.
Oh yeah,
it was like
it was somebody from France or something like that. We had to have it translated because we had no idea what the hell it said, but it was like somebody.
We were like, what? Someone in France is listening to our music and enjoying it. Like it's
awesome.
Kind of weird.
Yeah,
it's
cool.
And then we ended up. I remember they said something like Aaron said like her description of her voice was like hysterically like accurate, but like something about a screeching cat or something. Like they like really like it wasn't at all like offensive or anything like that, but it was creative. How it was, and it was.
She's very different. She has a very like. There's not people like there's not another person on the planet like her.
Yeah. And so this was this person in France is trying to describe it. It was a weird one, but cool for sure.
That is awesome.
Cool
I forgot about that.
Yeah. Just if you're listening, you don't realize how much like feedback helps. Like good or bad. Even if you're like, I fucking hate this, stop doing that. It helps people who create stuff to be like, okay, it's kind of good to get a sense of what we should look at. And if they're like, you're just being malicious and we don't like, and that's what we're purposely trying to do is what you don't like, then we're not for you. You know what I mean? Right. Like, but that stuff is important and it's really cool. Like someone from another country just enjoying something is mind blowing. Like
what's cool? Like the Hands Resist, the project is like, it's an amalgam of what like we've all kind of done. Like Smurf has always been like the weird riff and timey stuff, and Fody's the technical guy. I'm the hardcore dude.
And I'm just a drummer.
Ron's a drummer.
Ron's a drummer.
Ron's a drummer who Smurfs breaks his brain like I have a new idea.
I will say
this one in 1907.
It's one of my favorite things about this super group project, I guess you can call it, is there's a lot of stuff that we do with the hands that I've always been interested in. Sorry,
I couldn't let that one go.
Yeah. So they hit me when I don't do things with my hands.
Now you're doing amazing things with your hands.
Right. It's not for the lack of beatings, but I get the opportunity to do a lot of stuff I'm always interested in playing that there's no room for with Faith in Exile.
Yeah.
And Smurf is an asshole and pushes me to be a better drummer a lot.
Yeah.
And
you definitely stepped out of your comfort zone a lot with this project.
Yeah. I'm very happy with the way
it definitely showed in the beginning, but now you
I think that was something we talked about in the Faith in Exile episode. Like you came up in conversation, they're like you're very like you're very like it's like I need it has to be this way, but it's a good thing. Like you have a good vision on what you were trying to do.
I always wrote by myself. Like I can't once I'm in a room with people and there's pressure there, it's done. Like I can't. And any time I've ever written like that, like I was never really happy with it. Like I was never like, man, I could have did that better. And a lot of the stuff that like I write, it takes me a year and a half to write some of the songs. Like some of the stuff that I have written for like the next stuff is stuff that I had shelved for a long time, because when we got together, like we had just disbanded Tusco, and these guys were just kind of getting back into it, and we sat and we were like, what's a reasonable amount of time? If we can't be on a stage in 4 months, we're just wasting everybody's time. So a lot of this stuff was, all right, we have to bang out some songs. So it was definitely a little different for me too, in that sense, because I'm not used to writing under that. A lot of the stuff I have is, it takes me like a year till I'm like meticulously have it how I want it. And then you get in a room with people, and then Ron's like, what if you did this instead? And it's like, all right, let's try it. But like I probably already tried that, because I've been reworking this for like a year and a half, and it's not. I think a lot of people that I played with over the years like felt like it was almost like a control thing, like it has to be this way, but it's just I had put a lot of time into this by myself. No one really gets to see that because it's me by myself, and it has its pros and cons. Like sometimes I come off as a pain in the ass. To, like,
Oh, I can relate.
Sometimes
with this podcast, like I always kind of tell people, like it's a little different in a band situation because everyone's kind of bringing their own tools. But like this one here is like I'm providing the tools. This is kind of way I want it, but I also don't want to come off as like you have to toe the line because you want something you're passionate about to come through, but you also don't want to come off as like no one else has any input. It's a tough thing to tote the line.
There's people I play with in the past too where it's like you're not involved in anything, and then you want to come and change stuff.
Yeah,
it's like I'm all for everybody being a part of it, but be a part of it then. You know, if you want to come and write stuff and you want to be, you know, you want to push more of your own creative side, great, because that's just a lot less pressure off of my back to write these songs. But you know, if you don't come to practices or they'd come to shows and that was it, and then you know, well, I don't really like that part. Let's change it. It's like, come on, man, like you got to get more involved then, and that's kind of how that's kind of the best way to put it is like I'm always up for any kind of input because sometimes it is just me being stubborn. You know, when collectively they say, you know what, this part actually sucks, I'm like, all right, then sucks. Okay, if everybody feels that way, throw it out. But I mean, just my meticulousness with that is more of like I just have so much time in it by myself before anybody even gets to see it. So,
but a lot of that has come. There's been a lot of cool changes in this stuff that you originally brought to us, especially with Smurf and I butt heads all the time, but in a very positive way.
Yeah, it's probably good. Like it's probably a good thing. Like
you know, I'll try every possible way that I can think of to play this part that he would show me, and I'll be like, can we just try it this way? And then I'll tweak it just a little bit or change a length or a time signature just a bit, and he'll be like, oh, damn, I didn't even think about that. Let's do it. It's awesome.
Yeah.
And then it usually ends up me and him in the basement mouth noising stuff to each other. Like, like that.
Oh, so you want like a ta-ta-ta-ta-ba-ba-ba thing?
No, like
your
that.
beatbox.
Yeah.
I am listening. I'm just trying to find the ball opener.
But like
The worst thing about this table is with the stickers. Once you
blends
put
in.
something down, it's gone forever.
Don't lose my keys.
But we what was I gonna say? So like it's kind of an amalgam of everything. So it has like death metal elements. It has like the chaotic noise elements. It has hardcore. It's a little bit of everything. It's been working. And now I'm going back and starting to look at the songs while we're trying to actually get the EP finally done and retooling some stuff, and that's where we're kind of like we're not really happy with the one song.
Yeah.
Which that song was a whole we needed more time. We're like we need another song. And so the goal was everyone bring a riff to practice. So I came up with something, Smurf and Bodie had something, and we just threw it together, and it works. It's just we know we could do better.
It could work better, yeah.
Like we like all the parts. It just those parts might be better elsewhere or something.
So with the metal music, I think like I appreciate it. I like it. Like the music, I think some of the best musicians in bands come from metal bands because they're just good at what they do. Like they're very talented. I'm very, very, very driven on lyrics. I'm a very driven like lyrical guy. So that's where I think like the pop music and stuff resonates more with me because it's clear. You can understand it. Like I love Faith in Exile. But I couldn't, like, there's certain songs where I listen to it, I'm like, and you're like, this song's about this, and I'm like, I'm trying to listen to it, you know what I mean? And you can't get it, and like, I'm a type of person when I listen to an album, I always try to like when you buy an album, I used to like buy it and then look at the lyric sheets and try to like, because that's just how I am. That's how I process music. But I really, really like with Cyanide, I like Cyanide because it was a good mix of scream, and then you would have like the harmony vocals in there, and I was like, oh, okay, I can get into that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I do like the metal music, but that's where I only have my only hang up is like I'm so lyric driven. Like so when you're a metal band and you're coming up with something or you're making an album, how much of that is influenced with like singing and stuff? Like where do you guys pull off, like where do you derive yourself from when it comes to writing a song?
Well, I'm a shitty lyricist, so I'm glad I scream most of my stuff. But a lot of it is all the way I work singing wise is that I need to have the music and then I will form a vocal pattern and then I will build the lyrics off of that. So if how I want the song to go, like, okay, this is going to be scream, 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 then here we have a clean chorus I'm going to do. Then here's like more maybe like a hardcore yell. There might be some death growl type stuff. So it all depends on how the song flows for me. like our one song is called White Witch of the Grove. It's actually the lyrics are based around in Gettysburg. There is a ghost tour you can take. They run it out of the Farnsworth House and they do the adult tour. So it's like late at night. It's like 11:30 midnight when they take you out, and like they do one of the stories usually in the basement of the Farnsworth, and it's almost like a comedy ghost stuff because they joke and they curse and tell you like lewd stories and stuff versus like the family friendly tours. But the one is they take you out to, there's a grove on the outside, right out the edge of town where Pickett's Charge, like right where it happened. And the tale is that there was a young girl, she was like 14, her name is Elizabeth, and that prior to the war coming to Gettysburg, her family were trying to escape because she had a heart condition and they were trying to get somewhere peaceful. And they bring her to like one of the bloodiest battles, or the bloodiest battle takes place of the Civil War, and she ended up dying of like the stress. And they claim that her ghost haunts the grove, and that people will see her walking around wearing white, and when you get to her, like she screeches and like comes after you. And it was just a really creepy tale. I'm like, that's fucking awesome. So I just kind of where I built that.
Yeah,
off
so
of.
that's that. I'm glad you brought that up because that's something that I do definitely get a lot more with metal music. Is there's more that instead of more like my girl broke up with me, my life kind of sucks. It's more like it's like a fantasy story.
Yeah,
like the dragons are coming and like.
Well, it kind of depends. Like, I mean, me personally, like I have a really hard, like Smurf writes really great lyrics, but I have a really hard time putting someone else's words into where I want them to go.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It just there's some block somewhere in there that so like more what I will fall to is more to like a story type thing versus like an experience or something like that.
Yeah.
Or something like going on like just like a commentary, like our one song Thoughts and Prayers is just about the hypocrisy of fucking all these idiots sharing shit on Facebook but not actually doing anything about it.
Exactly, 100%.
And it doesn't matter like liberal, conservative, whatever. It's like you're
'cause
all
both sides
fucking
both
idiots
suck.
sharing onion articles and thinking they're real. I mean,
Yeah.
come on. Or like, oh my god, this terrible thing happened. Give me some prayers. I'm like, no, fucking go out and donate to that cause or something.
Yep.
It's like your thoughts fucking aren't going to do shit. So
that was kind of something when I talked about Mahantango with is one of my favorite songs they have is Better Now. I really like Better Now. And it was crazy because the song was written by another member of the band, and it was their feelings of going through a breakup and stuff. But when Liam sings it, you almost feel like it's the story's his, like the way he portrays the lyrics. And I'm like, that's kind of like I didn't know that, and that kind of made another side of the band that you don't realize in the process of making the music. Like you almost have to put yourself as a frontman. Like if you write a song about something that's really really bad happened to you, but you have to convey it through you. You have to then put yourself in his body and see how and kind of put that emotion out, which is kind of neat. Like it's a cool process. Yeah.
No, it is. It's definitely.
It's probably easier because as a band, I mean, you're always a band, you play music together and you get along, blah blah blah. But I mean, literally, when you're on stage or where you're performing together, you literally acting as one entity.
Yeah, you have to feed off each other.
So, if he would be singing a song about something that fully happened, it's probably not as hard as what you think it is because you're truly acting as one body.
Yeah, that's I didn't even think of that a process either. Like I just love.
I mean, everyone does it differently too. So I mean, just whatever works for each other. But
I just
you're all
fucking wish I could
conveying-
play an instrument. I love the idea of a band. I think it's just fun. Like I think like that brotherhood thing is cool. Like, or it doesn't have to be. I'm not male.
It's not a brother. It's not a brotherhood. It's a who can we ask the drummer about?
Well, you're everyone's brothers, and you're the kind of like stepbrother.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not even a fucking relative, man.
The funny part is that everybody thinks it's fun being in a band.
No, it sucks. No,
I'm a huge fan of the ass.
I kind of like that.
I hate
struggle.
it. It's like,
I like that struggle aspect.
It's funny because not really so many people that like watch bands, they don't realize, like they don't really take into account like what all came together to bring those 5 people together on a stage and doing what they're doing. Because that's what sucks about when people like right now, like people don't want to pay bands. It sucks. It's like getting money out of people is terrible. Because, like, you're just playing music. It's like, do you know how much went into that? Yeah. Whether, like, for original, I mean, we're writing all our own stuff. If you're in a cover band, you put all that time together to learn those songs so they don't sound like shit. And all your equipment, all that stuff that goes into it. People don't, like, understand that. So, like, they'd rather, like, a bar owner might rather fucking, you have a laptop and a Spotify account. Here's $100 to DJ for the night.
Yeah.
But, you want $1,000 because your band's to play? and we have like 4 bands on the bill we're trying to get money to. I mean,
Yeah,
come on.
I did a couple like live on location shows, and I've had offers where they came up to like, well, listen, you came in and you did something, we want to pay you for your time, and that's where I'm the opposite spectrum, where I undervalue myself. Like, what I like. This is not easy, kind of freestyle off the top of your head and doing stuff and coming up with something that you want someone to be good enough to listen to. And then people are like, well, no, you came and you did stuff. And I'm like, all right, cool. And then like I sneak out and I hand the owner their money back because I feel weird about it. So I understand that. I wish I valued myself more, I guess I could say.
Well,
but
like Smurf goes out of his way to bring bands out of the area into the area and try to get them something to come for more than like gas money.
There's not really a Hands Resist show that doesn't cost us money to play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like there's a lot of good bands in this area, but this area, you really got to fight to have a scene in this area.
Mm-hmm.
There's not like you really got to be putting the work in for people to give a shit around here.
Yeah.
And I know a couple years ago, I'm just like, there needs to be more out of the area bands coming in.
Yeah.
So that's what I started doing, is just hunting bands from like Philly and New York and Harrisburg. Scranton scene's great, and just being like, you guys are like really good, like come play. And the first thing is, well, are we going to be able to get gas money? It's like, whatever it takes. I don't even care. Like this area deserves like to see bands coming in. Like, and that's how a lot of bands from here end up getting shows out of the area, because we did the favor first. We put the work in. We reached the hand out. Come here, play. We'll take care of you. I can't tell you how many bands sleep on my couch when they come through. My old lady hates it. But you know, it's really helped like get a lot of other bands exposure, and it's the scene itself has been growing outward because we've been able to do that. We've been able to say, hey, screw it, I don't care if I make any cash on this. Let's give Horseburner $100.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what sucks too, is like everyone like the area like, oh, we're metal, but like you're not.
Yeah.
It's like there's more than Slayer, guys. Come on.
Yeah.
But because back in May we did the Metal Day Mayo down at Goodfellas, and we brought Horseburner in from West Virginia. They're a phenomenal like doom metal, stoner metal type
Like
band.
Prog stoner.
Yeah,
right?
prog stoner.
I just seen them described as that progressive stoner rock.
Yeah, basically, and they're fucking
Like,
phenomenal. And then we had
they're
Brain
awesome.
Candle from Philly, who's another like proggy, like stoner
I wanted to make that show, but it was the last
Doom
night of
band.
Hucklebucks.
or Trip and Billy's. That's
Yeah,
actually
Trip and Billy's.
fucked us.
Yeah,
So-
Trip and Billy's.
That really fucked us
That
up.
really-
And
that really
everybody
hurt.
who was at Trip and Billy's really fucked up, man. It was a good show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what really sucks about that night, because we had this booked since like fucking February, and then Trip and Billy's decided to, we're gonna have our last night this night now.
Yeah.
It wasn't like it was unknown either. It was everywhere.
Dude, I would do even the Skook Sock thing, man. Like, I was like, I just like. It's hard. It takes a lot, like how you're saying, to like, hey, we're gonna go out of our comfort zone and put something together. Like, that's fucking so difficult to do. It really is. And even with like Skook Sock, like I didn't make a fucking dime. I lost money in that show, and I was more like, I wasn't upset that I lost money, because obviously, like, especially doing something like this where like that could have went towards something else. I was more bummed to like I could only give this much to certain people because I was super passionate about it, and I wanted other people to hear these bands, because they're bands that like. I literally put together my dream lineup of Schuylkill County. You know what I mean? For the most part, like I wanted to get who I really enjoyed, and I wanted other people to experience it. And I was like, well, how do I get people there? Let's get the Crowbar people, and then the Fate's Got a Driver people, and that's more like of a, hey, you can come see this band, but then you're also hearing everyone else. It was just like I wish more people would take that initiative.
The thing that's difficult is there's always the unknowns. Like we did. Over in Palo Alto, we did this big thing called Artocalypse, and we had like 13 or 14 bands. We had like 40 artists come, and it was looking like it was going to be great. Made the front page of the Republican and everything. Fucking snowed. And we still did pretty good.
Like 2 feet of snow.
And it still did pretty. There was still like 170 people there, so like a lot of people weren't affected by it, but it could have been that much bigger. And like you put all the time into it, you put all it in, and it's a risk. Like you don't know. There's always a no. The next year we did it,
or there's the double booking at Goodfellas.
Oh yeah, that
screwed us.
Yeah, I had another one, Trauma Palooza. It was like all metal. It was just all really heavy metal. I brought in bands from all over the place. And I had booked Goodfellas through somebody. I guess they never confirmed it with Goodfellas. And then like 5 weeks before, because this was like 6 months out, I was planning. 5 weeks before it, hey, they double booked it, and it's one rapper. One rapper came in, and that was that. They just said,
Yeah. Sorry, guys.
sorry.
See ya.
So I had to move the whole thing to Trippin'. So now I have like 13 or 14 metal bands. Like music was supposed to go from like 4 p.m. till 2 in the morning, and there's like everybody's crammed into Trippin', and it was. I mean, Steve saved my ass on it by letting me hold it there, but really like it ended up being a huge hassle.
Yeah.
So the next year I moved it up to Scranton because we have a really good following up in Scranton, and we were like, all right, let's just do it up there. We'll do it in the summer so we don't got to worry about snow. Half of the show was supposed to be on an outside deck. It fucking poured.
Yeah.
So it's like, it was like, it seems like every time, like, it's always there. There's always like something that's going to make it
Yeah.
more difficult than it has to
Well,
be.
that's a huge reason why I did Skook Stock where I did it. Like, everyone's like, it's got to be impossible. It's got to be impossible. It's got to be impossible. And I was like, first, this is not a knock, but I'm not putting in Goodfellas.
Yeah. No,
No.
And
Everyone pretty much feels the same.
here's
about
not-
Goodfellas.
Here's the not the knock. Fuck Goodfellas.
I didn't say it, but
we all kind of
no.
everyone kind of feels the same.
it
about
bums me
Goodfellas.
out because they have, and this is not me hating, this is me being a critic and just hopefully, like I said, I'm not hating because I know what it go. I don't know what it goes into to run a club. So I'm not speaking of someone who has all the answers and can fix everything because I don't. You know what I mean? But it does sucks that you like that is the best fucking venue in Schuylkill County.
Oh, yeah.
and it's not being utilized.
And there's
It
so much
depresses
there's
me.
so much potential there. Like I went to see that Ozzy and Sabbath tribute band, Bark
Yeah.
of the Moon, last weekend I think, and they had their own sound guy, brought in his gear, didn't use anything of Goodfellas.
Not even the
equipment,
speakers.
Not even the speakers.
And it sounded amazing.
It sounded fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
and I was like, and there was like a good crowd there, and like I mean, everything was working great. Like the stage setup was great, lights were great. Like there's so much potential there, and it's being wasted.
Yeah, my
Completely
thing is like, and once again, this is just me coming from an outside perspective. I don't know the logistics and the backstage of it, so I don't want to come off as I'm bashing or anything like that. But for like example, with our merch store, if someone goes out and I make $300 my merch store, I buy new microphones. Like Goodfellas in a spot.
Let's
right
have
now,
responsible owners.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Goodfellas in a spot right now where it seems like they only care about the front bar, and the front bar. No offense, it doesn't look that great either. So
floor's falling.
where the fuck is like? So when a band comes in and a band gets paid $50 or whatever it is, bare minimum to play, and they're putting a show on, and you're making a crazy amount from the door, you're paying your bartenders, you're making good money on the liquor because it's super expensive, like. And then you look up and the fucking roof is leaking and the speakers all suck. Like you
Yeah.
got to put money back into your business. Like that could legit be the Chameleon Club of Pottsville.
Preaching the choir, buddy.
You know what I mean? Like,
There's like
These
four
are things we've been saying for
There's like
years.
4 things that they can do,
But-
and they.
Well,
they'd
I mean, the
be-
biggest thing is that they really should just listen to like the local musicians about
Right.
bands that come in. Like,
Right.
they had an opportunity to get a lot of good bands,
and they backed out on all of them.
because they didn't know who they were.
Yeah.
They considered
They
them
turned down
not-
Hatebreed
yeah.
yeah.
on their 10th
Yeah.
anniversary of the Satisfaction Death and
Guar,
Desire tour.
Clutch.
Guar was
They turned down
Clutch was turned
Anthrax.
down.
Yeah, and I mean, and they're not the only ones.
Lacuna
That,
Coil was turned
yeah,
down.
they're not the only ones at fault too. Like we literally just had to shame a local radio station into playing.
Yeah, Crowbot.
Into playing Crowbot. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it just come on, guys. Like, and then listen, I'm glad they did it. And I hope that's a regular thing now. And they did say they are working on local showcase. But like, how do you not have a local presence of your radio station? Just on a Friday night, go support something else
Yeah.
besides just high school football.
Because T102
For
has
an
been
hour.
trash since it's been a radio
Yeah.
station.
It is.
As simple as that. I mean,
you
you
do
don't want me
have-
talking shit on the
No,
morning
no,
podcast.
no, that
because I
is-
gladly will. T102 is a garbage radio station.
like-
Always has been.
if
Like,
you
I mean,
walk
seriously,
in-
I had to drive my wife's car the other day.
That's the-
Switch
is on now, boys.
Switch is on.
It's my
So-
fault. I keep only taking this much beer and giving them half the can.
So the other day, my wife took my car because her and her friends went somewhere, and she just has this little Mazda 2. So like it doesn't have Bluetooth or anything. So I just had the radio on, running to player modes to get food. And T102 is the only fucking radio station that comes in, and there's a fucking Kesha song from like 2010 playing. I'm
Yeah.
like, really? And then it was like all shitty top 40 stuff that's been like 10 years old.
Yeah.
I'm like, guys, come on. You
It-
can
it-
update your format.
It just seems like it comes off as lazy.
It is lazy.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
simple
completely.
lazy.
Yeah.
Completely.
Like realistically, I'm a fucking generic bullshit ass podcast. You know what I mean? Like but once again, I'm downplaying myself. But like, I at least make a presence to go into a local bar scene and go support music and go show
Yeah,
up.
you definitely do a whole lot compared to like most other people.
Yeah, and
Like,
my platform's not even close to the size of theirs are.
And,
You know what I
I
mean?
mean, the huge thing, radio is dying. Like anyone who actually streams T102, they fucking I don't even know what to say about them. But
Well, with all the bashing on
I mean,
T2,
here's-
I will give one semi-local one, 97.9, man.
oh, the X is awesome.
do
They will play.
awesome
They will
shit.
play people from our like. They played No Rain Checks.
Play,
They, you know,
with
they
Faith and
play
Exile's
us, they
on
play
there
Yeah,
too.
Faith and Exile. That's awesome. Like I don't understand how you're in a fucking city and a brand new fucking like a coffee shop like our Sage or you know how Kendra has a new like for me as someone who is a local person who I'm focusing on building up our local scene and finding that local gem. Like how is a radio station just like I don't understand how you can come and do your craft every day and be passionate about it and be like, all right, let's just put our blinders on to everything around us, play a Kesha song from 2010, get our check, and go home.
That's you nailed it right there. Is like at this level and like what you're doing, it's passion. You want to be doing this. This is something you love doing. It's not. It's just a business to them at this point. Like like even most people like I'm not gonna bash T102 because I don't listen to it.
Yeah.
I don't listen to the radio at all because I don't really like anything that's on the radio. You know, for most people, like that form of radio is just background noise. You put it on at the job.
But if T102 came out and said, all right, from 8 o'clock, or let's just say from 1:30 to 3, we're going to do a local showcase. Would you be more inclined to tune in?
Yeah, actually,
Absolutely.
AM 1450 used to do that. When
Yep.
it was
Yeah,
still a
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
AM 1450 up by the
Phoenix,
school.
up there in the school, yep.
They used to do once a week. They did like a local show for a while.
They were awesome.
Yeah, it was. It was.
And it would get people to say like, you know what, yo, let's go tune on, like put this on because they're gonna talk about some local stuff.
Yeah, like if I knew,
And
like
now your station is no longer background noise; it's something someone
yeah,
looks
like
forward
I would
to.
actually
People
like,
legitimately tuning in to be like,
Yeah.
okay, like, oh, these guys are from a couple blocks away. Like, holy shit.
Like, hey, today I went down and I got a fucking sandwich from Farlow's and it was great. Here's a quick little plug for them. They did a great job. You should go check and not expect a fucking dollar from them. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Like, because if more people are coming to town to buy that sandwich because you put them over, more people are going to be likely to tune into your radio stations because they're going to turn around and say, yo, thank you, T102, for giving us a plug and people coming in.
and that's kind of what like.
I understand people got to make money, but at some point
See,
in time,
But I
It
mean,
all
that's
boils
what the
down to
actual
doing the right
advertising's
thing.
for, though.
You gotta do the right
That's
thing.
what buying radio spots and actual advertisements for. But
Yeah.
like, with the whole like wanting to revitalize downtown Pottsville and everything, it's like they're part of the forefront. It's like, yo, help promote these new businesses. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a bunch of new businesses. There's more than the fucking.
more people would go to the
brewery.
Goodfellas show to go see a show if they went out and said, "Hey, you know, the band's not paying us to do this, but at Goodfellas this weekend is Crowbot in town playing a
Yeah,
Dio
or, like,
tribute
just
show
doing,
for
like-
a cancer benefit.
Yeah.
Go support that." And it's not done. It's
Yeah.
not done.
No, the only time they ever promote, and I'm sure, well, obviously it was paid, was when fucking Brett fucking Michaels would be playing
Oh,
Goodfellas.
God.
Yeah. And it's-
Fun fact: Brett Michaels sat on the couch that me and Steve Fulton pissed on.
Yeah. Fulton's an animal. All right. So this is the last cider beer. It's. I know it's only November.
Is it a Christmas beer?
But it is a Christmas beer.
Jesus
This
Christ.
is the cranberry.
It's okay. I had a Christmas IPA yesterday, so
I had a winter one already. Yeah.
winter's okay because like we skipped fall. So
Yeah, yeah.
it's just like it's just cold now.
Yeah,
As long as we're not in Christmas mode yet. I hate.
Dude, when we left practice the other night from your house, fucking it was like snowing like a motherfucker.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Christmas for me happens the week of Christmas, and that's it.
Yeah.
Like,
Christmas
has
doesn't
to
even
be-
happen until Christmas, like until the 25th.
I can't
It
sit
has to
listen.
at least be past Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my
best meme
rule.
I've seen
That's
the
my
other day.
rule.
It was-
Yeah.
Every time Christmas is mentioned before Thanksgiving, Santa Claus is forced to sacrifice another elf.
The biggest thing with me is this fucking like my wife. She loves Christmas. That's her thing. So it's like if I have to, and then when I work in an office where they play radio. And here's a fun fact: you think T102 is terrible with their lineup? Have you listened to Sirius? Like, have you turned on like 90s on 9 on Sirius and listened to it for 12 hours?
I had-
it's the
yeah.
same 16 songs over and over and over again.
I had like the free, like when I got my Jeep, like the free like 3 months of Sirius, and I was like, okay, this is gonna be awesome. I turned it on, I was like, I fucking heard this song 8 times this week.
You know what the
What
best
are you
part about
guys doing?
Sirius is? The literally best part about Sirius is the talk radio.
Oh yeah, yeah.
They have
I used to like listen to Stern and shit all the time. Like it was great.
Stern, Barstool is a great
Oh, yeah,
start,
Barstool.
and the Busted Open, the wrestling podcast with Dave LaGreca. The talk radio is way better than any. Because for me, when you turn into a radio station, if you're not even a live DJ and I'm listening to a recording, you're lazy. I'm turning it off.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
what are you doing? Like that day. Like, and I understand that. Listen, maybe money's not there, but people aren't. If you're going to be lazy, your fans aren't going to be adequate. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'd rather personally have Pandora playing where it just randomly shuffles random stuff.
Yeah.
I strictly Spotify at work.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm like, okay, what am I going to listen to today? Like, I have a habit of, I wish I could listen to more podcasts, but I just don't feel like I have the time for it. Because if I try to listen to them at work, I pay way too much attention to the podcast and I don't do what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So, like, even with music, like, that's not metal, like, if I know the lyrics, I'm like, not doing my work, listen, sing along. So, like, I've been listening to a lot of, like, more instrumental, like, music lately. Like, Fody and I are really into the guitar player's name is Nick Johnston. Holy shit, is he ridiculous.
Yeah.
Such, like, it's not metal. It's just, like, proggy. It's so
See,
good.
when you guys give all these different side things, like, what is prog?
So, prog is, like, real technical type.
Progressive.
Yeah, progressive.
Okay.
Like,
That's the
think
stuff
Rush.
that
makes
no
me have a
choruses, no
stroke.
verses.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
lame. If I have a stroke, it's prog.
Yeah.
If I could drink beer, it's just regular metal.
Maybe I'm just too
It's more
simplistic.
free flowing. It's there's not really choruses or verses. It's the like Tool would actually be considered like progressive. A lot of their
Okay.
stuff. That's something that's more familiar. The songs don't really just have parts.
It's like- it's
just
not
kind-
structured.
Yeah, kind of.
It's like a
It's
ballad.
like a song might be A, B, A, B, C, A, B. But like a prog song, be like A, B, C, D, E, F, G,
So
A.
would I be wrong saying it's like a jam band? We're like
No. It still has rhyme and reason.
Yeah.
But it's more of an ebb and flow thing.
It's like, think
It's about dynamics. Like having.
a real.
It's like a story, but in music.
think
Yeah.
Rush.
Yep.
Rush is a prog band.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Like, I mean, they do have like choruses and stuff, but like outside of like the Limelight and Tom Sawyer and shit, Rush is fucking weird. So,
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Like, to me, I simplify everything. Like, if something's too complicated, like even like a video game where I go into the menus and there's like, you have to upgrade this to get your strength to this and this. I'm like, I'm out. There's too much. Just let me play. Let me
Yeah.
do, like,
See, not me. I like to dive in. Like
That's
on
why I
the same
stopped
way
playing
with,
Madden
like,
football.
everything.
yeah. I
too
can't.
complicated.
I can't play Madden anymore.
it's too complicated.
Yeah, it's too real almost.
Yeah.
Like, but music, like let's just say rap, for example. Everyone's like, well, there's rap, then there's mumble rap, then there's this rap, then there's that rap. No, to me, it's rap and hip hop. Like, that's how I differ. Like, so if you're an artist who's out there storytelling and you have that style and it's not just I call it cookie cutter. We're like, oh, I have to talk. Country music's very country and rap are the two biggest victims of this. Where they're like, I need to hit these focal points to be a rap song. Hit the press, slap on the pan, let it bake in the oven, and that's my rap song.
Yeah.
That's rap to me. We're like old school Biggie, Tupac, like those guys were hip hop because you listen to their song and they're telling a story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even old country was very storytelling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I like that. So when someone just like
Ultimately, it's all just
sabada
pop.
sabada da. Sabada sa celery. You know what I mean? Like there's no substance to the music. You know what I mean?
No, it's like I just popped a bunch of Xanax.
it's just a good it's a good beat and that's it. You know what I mean? Like
I guess
so
you could say as far as the prog stuff though, it's very as much musically driven as it is lyrically driven.
Yeah.
The whole thing is just all about control and emotion and ebb and flow and
Yeah.
making you feel what you want a person to feel through
And
the
that's-
music rather than just the
And
lyrics.
that's what's awesome about this Nick Johnston. Like, his music just has, like, there's all these crazy, ridiculously talented shredder guitar players out there right now from the YouTube generation and shit. But, like, it's robotic almost. Like, I mean, they're phenomenal. They're mind blowing, the shit they do. But it doesn't have that, like, soul to it, I guess.
Doesn't have that
It's too-
impact.
It's too easy.
Yeah.
It's too easy to sound good.
Yeah.
Like there's too much you can do now. Like to like it. It's like you said, mechanical. It's,
Yeah.
It's too easy to recording enhance recording is to the point where like anybody can sound great in their bedroom.
Yeah.
Especially drums are one thing, but when it comes to like guitar players and like it's difficult to hear the same things over and over and over and feel like people are still out there being creative.
Yeah.
Like it's especially with the low tuning stuff, like and the breakdown stuff, like
7/8 string. Just
Yeah, but I play only the low, what is it, F sharp, I think.
yeah.
Yeah, the biggest thing that I do when I look for music is I always say, okay, I'm gonna listen to a band and everyone likes them. Obviously, like I think you should sound your best in studio. If you can't sound good in studio, I don't know what to tell you. You know what I mean? Like if I listen to your studio track and I can't get into it, I'm not even gonna attempt to go to the next step. But like if someone like, for example, like we'll go back to Crowbot here. Crowbot's awesome in studio. I think they're better live, depending if the room sucks. Because if you go see them somewhere where you can't hear the vocals, you don't get a good experience. We went to go see him in Poughkeepsie, and I don't know if it's just like a venue thing, where if it's like older school venue, but like everybody wants to be up front. Everybody wants to be.
That's a big problem with a lot of places. Like Goodfellas is a perfect example. If you're right at the stage, you can't hear.
You can't hear anything.
Because all you're hearing is the fucking monitors on stage.
Yeah, you can't hear any vocals,
which sound like shit.
Yeah, and that
When
was
they
kind
work.
that was kind of that was kind of at Poughkeepsie too. Like
Yeah.
you couldn't. Poughkeepsie was Goodfellas in New York.
Yeah.
It really was.
Michaels.
Except it was a really nice venue. Like
Yeah.
it had like an upper stage and
Yeah,
like a
it
balcony.
just-
It was
yeah.
nice. But you couldn't like a lot of people. They're only like we loved the way Crowbar sounded. We couldn't hear the vocals, and I was like, I kind of know.
That's the
And
biggest part. That's the
yeah.
biggest parts of that band.
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
like-
So that's the thing too. Like a lot of people, you should like when someone says you should go check this band out. I will go up and look at like I'll try to find a live video or a live recording, not so much
Yeah.
someone's cell phone because that's
it's gonna sound like shitty.
sounds
though,
horrible.
Yeah.
But I always try to find that live because if that's where to me that's where you come alive as a band. Anyone can do whatever they got to do in studio, and if you have a good producer, they can make anything sound awesome.
Well, yeah, that's one of the. It's kind of like the double-edged blade of the technology that's out now. It's like anyone can sound amazing if they want to.
It makes things a lot easier. Like I, in the past couple of years, did a lot of stuff where I could just bring my amp into my house. I don't need to set up a microphone,
Yeah.
anything like that. I could plug right on my computer and record whatever I want and send it to these guys.
Yeah.
Which is it's so practical and it's makes everything so much easier. But then there's all these little tricks that can make someone shitty and not someone that's not passionate just wants to do whatever sound like they're like they put in the work. And,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It
And
also
it's-
allows you to like cheat too.
yeah,
like,
that's like you could cheat.
I could
so
go
much.
like I could go record me playing a bunch of sweep arpeggios at like 50 beats per minute, like note per note, and then go into the fucking
And just speed
digital
it up.
audio workstation and speed it up and make it sound like I'm woo, woo.
Tearing it up.
Yeah, and it's like, but I
Well, don't
usually,
once again, don't pick on me. I'm not a technical audio music guy, but isn't that like a loop pedal too, where you like delay your notes, so when you hit a note and then you play the next note, it delays the last sound, so it sounds like it's on top of each other.
well, that's just the delay in general.
Yeah.
So a loop pedal is good for like if you have a like something in behind it you need to play. Like let's say I have a chord progression, and let's say I'm the only guitar player of the band. So I have a guitar progression. I can click on my loop, record it, engage it, and then I can like play a lead over it with only having one guitar player. Or if you have like a certain spot where just they're fun for like just ambience and stuff too. Like you bang it out and hit it and just let it.
Yeah.
fucking swell up
I
and
think
shit.
I think the worst thing that I've been seeing though is like they're being these recordings are being relied on in the live sense where they just have backing tracks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
So they're
annoying.
not like we want. I mean, sometimes okay, it fills in the mix a little bit, whatever. But like we seen this one band, and they actually had the leads. All the solos were just coming through the PA through this scratch track or this the backing track, and then the guitar player's just playing the rhythm. So he's doing the simple part that really doesn't take any skill. And then the stuff that makes them sound amazing on CD is just being played off of a digital track.
That's something
come
that has now been brought to the light to me from like hanging out musicians and going to see a band live. You're like, and you're watching. Like, I don't know, obviously, where your fingers are on a guitar, but I can tell if you're legit playing what you're playing from going to shows. And I'll go see bands, and it's kind of like wrestling, where it's kind of you're behind the curtain a little bit, and you're like,
Yeah.
you're fucking lying. Like,
You're a phony.
yeah, and then I think that's a good thing with like where Crowbot stands out as well is because they plug in and play.
That,
Yeah,
that's what, like,
they're a very like no frills. Like
Yeah.
just,
Yeah,
like
You're gonna
plug
get
in
what
and
you're
just-
getting.
and they're gonna fucking crank it up and
because
just
you
do what they
have weird
do.
ends of the spectrum. Like I know they're just spooky Nickelback, but Ghost, I love Ghost, but
Ghost's gimmick alone, I don't even care.
Ghost, that's what really
like
like
spooky nickel.
their older music was amazing. Like I love their older, like I still love their new stuff. Like it's such kitschy and it just I like it.
I'm
But
gimmicky all the way.
the last time so I've seen them since like their second album through their newest one, and the last time I saw them was up in Wilkes-Barre right after Prequel came out, and it just like something wasn't there. I'm like I wouldn't be surprised if they're not actually playing. That's what it felt like.
Yeah.
Like their older shows, it's like you could tell everything's going on real time. There was a lot of banter between songs. A lot of the banter was gone. The
Like
one
they were on
guitar
a time.
player actually somehow hurt himself like during their break and wasn't able to play. So there was someone backstage playing, or either they were just had the track playing. I'm like, I wouldn't be surprised to find out that they're not actually playing live and just doing.
Well,
the
didn't they
theatrics.
just like revamp their whole, like kick everyone out and start over?
Well, no, they've been a hired gun band from the get go.
Yeah, they're just like a revolving door of musicians. that get
Yeah,
out
so
of
like
it.
it's all one guy. It's that Tobias Forge. Like he's a genius, and like he's a marketing genius, and he's a really good music. He writes all the music, and I guess some of the original Nameless Ghouls were kind of pissed that they weren't getting any credit, even though he wrote everything. So they tried to.
That's
sue
why
him
you're a
for it.
nameless goal.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you're a nameless ghoul. You're not Steve.
Yeah.
You're not Steve the Ghoul.
That's the reason why the whole thing was created in the first place.
Yeah, it's
you are, like
it's theatrics. I
Yeah.
mean, it's a show, and that's
like,
what it is.
If you
and that's
play,
what's cool about
if you
it.
play through a PA, but you put a great stage show on, I'll let you go with it.
But like I said, that was what sucked though, is like coming from seeing them like before they were huge to now. I'm like, I would not be surprised if they're not playing, and that's kind of made me sad.
Yeah.
It also could have been the venue. It was the Kirby Center in Wilkes-Barre, so it's a seated theater, which is
Yeah.
weird too.
Weird place to see ghosts.
Yeah. So
It did
because
seem-
I've seen like Jim Gaffigan there.
It seems
that was great.
It
but-
seems more like church though.
Yeah, it did actually, but that was my only gripe. I'm like, I would not be surprised to find out that they're not actually playing right now.
Could you imagine if they got to the point and they made enough money that you actually showed up and there's no more pit and you show up and it's all seats in front and it's all church pews?
That'd be pretty funny. Actually.
That'd be
pretty-
awesome.
That would actually add to the show, I think. But that was what bummed me out about it. I'm like, I feel like they lost something going into this bigger production.
Yeah.
Sadly, it just
Spooky
stole,
Nickelback, I like that.
I was gonna say, he just
Play with that
stole
guy
more
up
of it
in,
away from me when he said Spooky
Wilkes-Barre,
Nickelback.
where he had, like,
I give him a
little
shot all
sign.
the time now. I don't know
He
if I
just played
can.
everything
But
for
yeah.
to go to that though, but then you have other bands like to the extreme of that, like Periphery, who are just ridiculous musicians and geniuses of that stuff. That like they have their entire set automated, but they're legit playing.
Yeah,
except
yeah.
a computer doing all their like pedal changes and
Yeah.
stuff. And it's just nutty.
Listen, I'm a gimmick dude all day. Even like in wrestling, if you come out with your face painted or wearing a mask, I'm fucking sold. Like, you want me to like your band? Come out with your face painted. I will be at every show. I'm just like not so much like even Steel Panther. Like they're also very good at what they do, but that gimmick thing,
Oh yeah, that's
I'm attached.
yeah.
That's what I
That's-
love, how people think like they're serious. It's
Yeah.
like, it's all a joke.
Yeah, 100%. And like the one song they did that is actually like a serious song. They open every show with "Eyes of the Panther."
Yeah.
it's actually a really good song.
Yeah.
like it's like they show they can make a legit song.
Yeah.
but they just don't want to.
No, it's funny.
Yeah,
And it's like, but like I love when people get all butthurt like because of the pussy melter.
Yeah, the pedal. Yeah.
And they got all butthurt about the pedal. And
they
it's
don't
like,
make it anymore, right?
It was only a limited edition, but
No.
like Reverb, like you can't buy it on Reverb. They banned it because it's offensive.
It's the pussy melter, and then they made
Poontang Boomerang delay.
Yeah.
yeah.
And it's like it's so funny because it all started from like was it MXR, I think. It was a like so you can download presets into certain pedals, and it was like a chorus. I think it was a chorus and delay. So just made something nice and like silky and ambient when you're playing, and it was the Pussy Melter preset. And someone got all butthurt. There was some female guitar player from some shitty band in Canada that got all butthurt about it, and of course, it got viral because of one person being mad about something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're like, "Fuck it, let's make the actual pedal."
Yeah. But
The
I'm
fact that
only
I can
sad
hear
that
the crinkle makes it
'cause,
so
like,
much better.
Basically, like the description was written by Satchel. And it's like this will melt your pussy. I mean, it's like the women are going to be gushing when they hear this thing.
Yeah.
So my only sad thing about the Pussy Melter pedal is that it was a distortion pedal. It wasn't the delay that it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
Well, delay and chorus it was supposed to be.
Yeah, that's kind
Because I
of.
would have bought it if it was
Yeah.
actually that.
But it's like the people that are upset about it. Like, do you understand what Steel
Yeah,
Panther's about?
it's a
like,
joke.
it's literally a giant joke.
Yeah, well, that's the thing too. Like, that's where I can't stand media. Like, I hate media
Yeah.
because when people watch the news, right, you're creating mass hysteria. Is what you're doing, and that's all the media wants to do. And I don't care if you're right or left; they both do it.
Yeah.
They're
Oh, yeah.
both equally at fault. So I'm a Washington Redskins fan. Unfortunately, they're fucking terrible. It is what it is. I will ride and die with that team, even though they're dog shit. But what happens is 6 white people who are 1/10 Cherokee Indian show up at Redskins games every now and then, or show up at Redskins game and have signs and say, "Your name is offensive." and it's 6 people who just show up with signs and protest every single game. And then what happens is the media has a slow day because if the Antonio Brown thing wasn't happening or Cheatgate or anything like that is not going on and they have nothing to talk about, they always resort back to, is the Washington Redskins racist?
Yeah.
Right? So if there's a slow day in media, they're like, all right, how can we stir people up?
Yeah, exactly.
So
It's all about viral now.
Yeah,
It's
so
not-
one lady decides that I don't like the word pussy on a pedal,
Yeah.
and then it hits the internet, and then other people read it and say, yeah, I'm offended too, and then it just takes off. Like,
Yeah, to the point where you can't sell them on like the biggest music marketplace on
sucks.
the internet.
Yeah.
Because they're fucking butthurt about it.
It's because reaction sells. It's reaction and
and a lot of the people who are offended are people who don't create anything on their own.
right.
Yeah,
It-
they have nothing better to do but bitch about things. that-
Yeah.
It's very easy to say that. Well, Andy did this really great thing today. Oh, cool. He's a good guy.
Yeah.
Now we say Andy just killed a dog in front of an old lady.
Oh, yeah.
You kill the old
You know what I
lady
mean?
before the dog.
Yeah.
It's easier to focus on the negativity than someone's positive.
Well, I keep joking that like the world is like media. So Tomorrow Never Dies, the James Bond movie. I'm a huge Bond dork, but it's turning real. Like the whole premise of the movie is there's this media baron that's trying to start a war between China and the British,
It's literally happening in
and
our
like
country
he's
right
literally
now.
creating it. Like he's like actually he sinks. Like the first scene of the movie is like his media people like sinking a British ship in Chinese waters, and then trying to start a war between the British and the Chinese through his newspaper. And it's like, fuck, it's like too real
Yeah.
now.
You ever see the old movie Network?
No.
70s. It's about this guy. It's about a network doing this. What we're saying, but this one guy, he goes to get. They're gonna fire him, and he goes on and he goes off on live air, and he ends up getting this huge reaction. And then they realize they can utilize the negative energy that this guy has, and then that's how the movie kind of ends up, where they end up taking this guy who they're about to fire because he's a grumpy prick, and he goes on the air, stirs up a whole big thing, and they realize what we're trying to do.
People only care about negative.
This is the guy that can do it for us.
Yeah.
I didn't see it in a long time, but it's a really really good movie.
Yeah.
About exactly what we're talking about here.
Be an amazing band and be super positive. Nobody will give a shit. Do one thing negative, everybody will know about your band.
Oh, yeah.
Like, and that's disgusting. Like,
Yeah.
like, oh hey, you're saying like everyone's doing something great. Like, don't ignore it. But
Yeah,
the
cool,
second
yeah.
they do something bad, like we should latch onto it. You know what I mean? But hey, like I want the same people how you were saying, like they're not creative. Go out and do something on your own. And then in the back of your mind, like, if I say this, will people get upset? Like,
Yeah.
it slows down your creative process because you're like, I don't want to offend somebody because we live in a culture where if I'll upset one person,
Dude, that's
everybody
what-
else gets upset.
Oh, I've been loving the new South Park episodes.
They don't even give a shit.
They are like fucking like the Chinese stuff. Oh my god!
And that's a weird thing. If you openly say, I don't give a fuck, if you don't like what I do, don't do it. That's the only way you're kind of protected. It's like the circle, circle, dot, dot. Now I got my cootie shot. Like that's like that's the only way you're around it. Like Bill Burr, like, like Dave Chappelle. Protest me all you want. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
And people
It's like,
are
I'm
like,
gonna say it.
and then like people who are legit real and actually are pretty positive people are like, I'll support Dave. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? He's not being malicious. He's not picking on anybody.
He's just
He
telling
be-
it like it is.
He's a comedian. He's supposed to be funny. You're supposed to say edgy shit. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Did you see?
Like,
Did you see his new special?
Oh, they're amazing.
I didn't see the newest one yet. I gotta watch it.
Yeah, I need
What
to
did-
watch it too.
gonna-
I've seen some excerpts and I'm like,
I'm gonna fuck everyone in this car.
How was your weekend? How was my weekend? The king of pop sucked my dick. I fucking laughed for an hour.
Could you imagine a 12-year-old boy?
Oh my god! And then like everybody attacked him over like the LGBT community's jokes, and it's like he was making a joke about a kid getting his dick sucked. Like
Yeah.
that's not as offensive.
Yeah.
Like
No
why,
one- no
why
one
he's not
cares.
protesting that one? Like
But he made Thriller.
yeah.
Well,
I like the Louis C.K. stuff. Like he would like joke about like fucking a dead kid in a field if it wasn't raining, but then it was like, oh, he jerked off in front of a bunch of ladies. He
Yeah.
didn't actually do anything to them.
that he clearly said, hey, I have an extra bed. You can use it, but I'm going to give you a heads up. At 8 o'clock at night, I'm going to jerk my dick. You can leave or you can stay. Yeah. You couldn't be any more clear.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to do one last question here and enjoy our last beer. It's the Iron Maiden, created by Iron Maiden. It's the premium British beer. It's a Robinson's, I guess. I don't know. It's a 4.7. It's not crazy. But this is we got this in Ohio. When I seen it, I was like, this is fucking crazy. I gotta have it. And then when I had this beer, then I found out you guys were coming. I was like, oh, this would be a perfect beer for you guys. So we'll pour this beer. And the last question is, while we pour, is who are your heroes in real life? So it's we always talk about like who is someone that like maybe musician wise, personal wise, like real life people. Who is someone that you looked up to that could be your hero? And if you want to do one of each, like someone local or someone who's like been a personal influence and then a famous influence, we can do either one. So we'll pour the Trooper. Try to find this on eBay. It's really it's out of control.
I think I got like the music one, but like for as far as like a
Well, it doesn't have
I got
to
a
be
real
music,
life one. I
but
got a
just
real
like,
life.
but just like I don't know, like I'll give an example. So like maybe celebrity wise, someone who's really inspired me, even with like the podcast and kind of stepping out of my comfort zone, has been Kevin Smith. So I talked about this a few on other shows, but the reason this podcast is even a thing is because I sold.
I like it.
Yeah, I sold all of my collectibles. I'm a huge nerd. I collect stuff. I sold all of it to buy the first round of equipment to start this show. And the reason I did it is like, all right, do I hold on to a collectible and hope it gets valuable one day? Or do I sell it now and follow a dream that I want to do to not just do a podcast, but also bring that local thing out and show more people that there's cool stuff in our area? Because
That's a British beer.
yeah, 100%. But like, because like the thing is like, anyone can do their thing, but if you put it on a platform where people actually give a shit and pay attention, like a podcast or the internet or Facebook, where people are like, oh, well, what's Andy doing on a place? And they actually go and they listen to it and they're like, oh, I should support more things now because of what they listen to something. You know what I mean? You got your message out. So that's why I started what I did. So that would be my I guess famous influence. And then local, that I have a few of them. Like when I coached soccer, I was influenced by an old high school basketball coach. Just the way he did his thing influenced me, or like something like that. You know what I mean?
I got my local. I'm gonna say Jim Duranis, probably. He never really taught me anything guitar wise, but like he's the one who gave me like faith that I'm a better guitar player than I actually am. I always kind of just like, yeah, I play guitar, but I'm not good at it. Or I always kind of like downplayed whatever I could do. But he was one of the like, you're good, you need to keep doing, and he kind of really pushed me to keep going and going and going. Now I'm where I'm at. I mean,
Yeah.
So like music wise, like, you know, I had some coaches and shit in high school and whatnot, but that was the only one that really kind of pushed me into where I needed to be.
Yeah.
In, like my mind. So
Yeah, local positive influence.
Yeah.
Like go out and just tell someone they're fucking doing the right thing. Like help somebody. Like it's so impactful. It really is.
Yeah. I have to say I have a similar one. My local guy would probably be Tom Grice.
Yeah,
He was my first guitar teacher, and he gave me lessons like a couple years on and off. And then like I remember coming back to I approached him, like I haven't seen him in a while. I said, yo, like could I get back into lessons? Like I want to start getting in some advance. He goes, dude, you don't need fucking lessons. Like get out of here. And I'm just like, but so I did end up taking a few lessons from him, but like he's kind of the same thing, like always like, you know, really pushed me and, you know, thought I was better than I was. I felt that way anyway, you know, and like really, you know, really made me the kind of player I was today. And, you know, that's a big thing.
yeah, Tom's a great guy.
Yeah. He's also hilarious.
yeah.
Tom's fucking funny.
I think my local one has got to be Johnny K.
Oh, yeah. Johnny
Fucking A, man. That guy's.
He's gonna be so happy to hear
He's
that.
the fucking epitome of everything we talked about today with doing things because you love it. Like like he was the sound guy that would like, oh, you're a high school kid, I'll still do your gig.
Yeah.
And he come out and the show doesn't do so well. Don't worry about it. You can get me next time. It's just
Yeah.
glad to see he's out here doing it.
Johnny K
Like,
is such a good
awesome.
dude.
And it's
He
solid.
really is.
Yeah.
It's funny because like looking at Johnny K on the outside, the people that don't know him, like if you look at Johnny K, like it's fucking doing the Jerry curl.
Yeah.
You don't take him serious.
No,
Yeah.
but like he's very passionate. He's a fucking just a genuine dude, and he's helped us out since high school.
Yeah, and that's
Like,
something you don't find in people.
our first show ever was we were in separate bands at the time, and
Heather was singing
Yeah.
with us with my band at the time. Heather was the singer.
Really?
Yeah.
at that point
Yeah, that was it. Would have been.
was it?
Aquabomb,
Yeah, but was it the
12.
other dude that sang for you originally?
Oh no, John Porter. No, he never sang.
Didn't he?
No,
I
he
thought
never.
he did.
He never sang. For
So
the
yeah,
show.
it was that is right. So it was us. I had a band called Twine, it was just a shitty cover band, but it was our start. We played like Deftones and Nothing Face and stuff like that. It was a lot of fun, but Then they had Aquadama, was a metal band, and then there was No Name Basis. It was like the local screamo band. So
Hey.
So, but Johnny K, it was funny because I used to work at Brewers Outlet. I didn't know Johnny K yet at this point. And I used to work at Brewers Outlet in Minersville right next to Palermo's. And there was this dude with a fucking Jerry curl would always come in and get his case of Coors Light. And he was just, I'm like, that is a weird dude. And then I forget who actually booked him.
I
Did you
got
book him?
on because he was cousins with a buddy of mine, and he was giving him lessons, and we were looking for a sound guy. He's like, "Oh, my cousin, he does sound." I was like, "I'm thinking his cousin."
Yeah.
And he was just like way older, so not what I expected when I
Yeah.
called him. But no, yeah, that's
It's like day of show. The dude, the Coors Light dude, shows up. He's our sound guy, and we've been buddies ever since. Like fucking Johnny, he's bent over backwards for everybody. He's
Yeah,
fucking man.
and the thing with that is every time he sees me too, he's like, "How's your show going, buddy? High five, good job, you're doing a good thing." Like
yeah.
he supports it. I don't know if he listens, but he supports it, even though he like you know what I mean. And he's also, I always tell Steve, like he's the perfect employee for Fulton's because you go in to buy a string or a guitar, and he goes, "Buddy, what's going on? What band are you in?"
I cannot go to Fulton's without talking for
Yeah.
45 minutes.
yeah, I'm at
Yeah.
like an hour.
It is it is impossible. Like if I'm just stopping for strings, I can go there and try and buy a single guitar pick. I will be in there for 40 minutes.
Yeah.
talking to Johnny K.
He's a
Just-
super
and-
news dude.
But it's great. Like it's
mandatory.
What are you
10
doing, you
moves.
crazy
Yeah.
bitch?
Hey, crazy bitch, how you doing? And he goes, I'm like, you hear I was a little sick.
yeah,
You almost died, you crazy bitch.
Yeah.
Like, he played it off like he was just
Yeah.
like had a hiccup.
I didn't even know about that. Like he kind of told me like he was sick and he was having some things, and then like
No, he almost died.
Yeah, and then that's what I heard. Like I forget. Well, I don't think it was one of you guys that said. It might have been you.
Because
I was
he-
like, yeah, he legitimately almost died. And I-
Because he doesn't want people to worry.
yeah, and
He's just such a fucking sweetheart. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, oh my god, Matt fucks with him so bad. Matt Snapchats are just him just fucking with Johnny K. And Johnny K like, you're crazy, man. You're crazy. I probably told this on the last show, but I pulled a prank on Johnny K. So Johnny K, he like when he takes the trash out, for some reason he just takes a pee when he's out taking the trash out. And Fulton, I guess, was like, dude, you can't do that. We work right in the highway. You know what I mean? So I was like, what's Johnny K's number? So I called from my phone. I was like, yeah, this is Tom Jim Smith from the Pottsville Police Department. So I knew the name of the business next to Fulton's, but now I forget it. But I was like, I'm calling because the people who own the business here, they put cameras up outside and they have you on video urinating in public. You need to come down to the station so we can take care of this. If you just agree to stop doing this and apologize to the business, we won't press charges, but if you don't, like, that's indecent exposure. We can get you for because a child drove by. Like we had, and Johnny K is freaking the fuck out on the phone, right? And then I just like, he's like, okay, buddy, I promise I won't. I'm like, you fucking pussy. And he's like, excuse me. I'm like, it's fucking Tony, you crazy bitch. And then I came in the store like 15 minutes later, he's like, you almost gave me a fucking heart attack. But he's such a good dude, man. I love Johnny K to death. And I always say, like, I was like, yo, I was at the bar the other night. He goes, where are you? Where are you? And he knows where I'm going. I'm like, yeah, man, there was a really hot blonde, huge boobs, and she was trying to take me home. Oh, yeah? What was her name? I'm like, I don't know. Something with an S. And I'm talking about his wife. She was also a sweetheart.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and he's like, oh, you should have did it, crazy. Like, awesome guy. But yeah, that's a great one. Who would be yours? Well, as we turn, yeah, there you go.
This microphone thing.
I one day I'll get a better setup. I'm poor.
I don't really have specifics. I would say, especially in the state of the world, anybody who has passion, anybody who's not afraid to push somebody to do something better, not just to be a dick. You know, I don't care if you're a dick when you do it, but if it's truly pushing someone to do something better, or for the scene, something like you're doing, whatever, drinking a 40 on a podcast. I mean, just people with passion, just generally people with passion. There's not a lot of it around. You know, I could go to anything. People doing podcasts and bring local stuff out, new musicians, old musicians
That's
trying
what-
to get new musicians.
Yeah, that's
out.
what kinda-
Those are the heroes to me. People are doing something with substance.
Why trying to say I'm your hero?
It depends where you touch me.
That's what I like.
I
Like
rub his
this, it's
leg.
great that there's young bands again. I mean, that's awesome. I'm like, we're the old assholes, fucking still around.
I'm all about it, man.
But
the
like-
local music scene is so fucking cool.
It's growing again, and then like you have like obviously we know Look Alive in Montonga, but like the No Rain Checks kids, they're like 20.
Yeah.
I mean, like they're just starting out and they're already like
They're so fun to watch.
Yeah, they're just they're
Yeah,
having a good
that
time.
Max is a nut.
He's,
Like,
he's
it's
a
awesome.
great character.
Yeah,
Like, they have a good
Austin wears a
time.
big bacon
I
suit.
haven't seen him. I haven't caught him live yet, but I've seen like the videos and shit. And
Yeah.
like just like
They're
he's-
entertaining.
He's got the whole outfit and just like it's cool.
They're
Yeah.
entertaining, and that's awesome. And I'm glad that there's kids doing that instead of fucking playing fucking Fortnite or something.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I mean, you can still play Fortnite.
No, you can't. Fortnite sucks.
Looking at you, Fulton.
Play a real game, loser. I
yeah.
grew up in the EverQuest thing, so everything's just crippling terribly, and if it's easy, I hate it.
yeah. No, oh, that's the thing too. So we do the intro music for every show.
Yeah.
So right now, Interviews with Dirty People has a local rapper out of Hazleton. Not Hazleton, Harrisburg. I apologize. Two different directions.
Yeah, you got the H.
Yeah, I got the H down. He's really good at Vito DePiero, so you hear his music, check him out. I try to get one of every genre, for the most part. No Rain Checks is our music for Tornado Tag, and it's Clash of Titans, and it literally sounds like an 80s like
Wrestling theme.
theme music. It's amazing. Faith in Exile is Banging Beers. I always
Exclamation.
Exclamation. Yeah, I'm terrible at. You're too metal for me. I don't know. And then Look Alive is Not Cool in High School with it's Snowblind. Awesome song. The video's hilarious too with the little puppets.
Yeah.
But like, so what I'm thinking is like every like 30, 40 episodes, switching it up and trying to find someone new.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Just to get more people exposure. I didn't realize how the Facebook tags work. So like I tagged Billy Trey's like his Twitch stream on our thing. So when you look at the descriptions, I always put like the band's page and like where you can find them. So like Billy said he typed in Converse Kid on YouTube and all of the Not Cool in High Schools popped up.
Oh, nice.
I was like, well, that's kind of neat. Like I was like how you can just. I didn't know it worked like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's something I'm definitely trying. Like every episode, so I'm not spamming. I just said like, hey, new episode out, intro music by. So more people will say like, well, what's that page? And they click on it, and if they hit the like button, awesome. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like just to get more things out there. But that's the main goal, is just supporting each other. So like on a famous level, who's something that you like? Who inspired you to maybe do what you do, or just you'll look at? Another good one is like for me, like David Grohl. I just love his positive.
Dave Grohl's the man.
He's I'm not a guy who follows religion or maybe not believe Jesus Christ, but David Grohl is the closest thing to Jesus Christ in our modern day. Like he's just
Dave Grohl's the devil. I love there was a joke on when they did the Tenacious D movie, and Dave Grohl was the devil in the tribute video and also
In the movie.
And they were like, well, he just took off his devil mask and it was Dave Grohl. He wasn't dressed up.
Yeah, I love. If he is the devil, he's killing it.
Yeah.
And it makes me support him even more. I don't know.
I guess music wise, I was a frontman first before. I mean, I played guitar, but not seriously for a long time. But frontman, I probably like Scott Weiland. Scott Weiland's probably.
yeah.
Did you get new ink?
Oh yeah,
I just noticed that you got a little Wolfie there.
Yeah, it's my puppy that passed away last year.
Oh, your husky.
Well, my not Loki, not the current.
Oh,
not the current husky. We had a rescue husky. His name was Greywind. That
Awesome.
we had him. We don't know what his story is exactly. So my wife was volunteering up at Hillside the one day, and they bring this. He was a husky Malamute mix. They found him in the woods near Tamaqua. A cop found him. Someone dumped him somewhere. He couldn't walk very well. He was in really bad shape. He was only 26 pounds. He was a husky Malamute mix. This is a
26
big
pounds.
dog. So he's skin and bones. He had no fur on his back end. And at the time, my job had, if I volunteered certain hours, they'd give money to the cause. So I'm like, let's foster him, bring him in, because he was in bad shape, and like we didn't want him, like, if they would have put him in with the other dogs, like he wouldn't have done well. So I'm like, bring him home. We'll foster him. His name was Jonah. He was like on the news and everything.
His name was Jonas.
Yeah, like he was on the news and everything like that day. But so we bring him home and we're volunteering, and people started asking like, well, you're going to keep him till he's better, right? That we're interested in him. I'm like, no, if you want this dog, you're going to help bring him back to what he needs to be. Mm-hmm. And so I ended up changing his name to Greywind because he's a dire wolf. And
A dire wolf. It's like a regular wolf, but dire.
So, because I was being into Game of Thrones at the time, so I'm like, you're a dire wolf. I named him Grey Wind, and I'm like, fuck it, you're staying. So we nursed him back. He gained his weight back. He was walking so much better. He got all his fur back. He was the best dog ever, but we don't know how old he was. So the vet was like, he's between 7 and 15.
That's a range.
So I'm like, so we think he was on the older end of the spectrum. Like, we don't really know exactly how old, but he just started deteriorating. He wasn't able to walk. He was starting to have accidents, and just finally, we knew it was unfortunately time. So he passed away in July of last year.
How many years did you have him?
We only had him for 2 years.
Probably the best 2 years of his life.
Oh, it was. He lived like a king.
Yeah.
So there's a tattoo artist in Integrity Tattoo down in Royersford. His name's Kyle Bear, Ink Bear on Instagram. But he did a haunted house thing for Rish, and it's phenomenal.
Oh, I seen that. That's awesome.
And
Yeah.
he did my one buddy's sleeve, like a voodoo like themed sleeve.
I didn't even know Rich was at the show last night. I walked out to go to the bathroom. We're like, oh my god, you're here.
So like he did my one friend's sleeve, and I'm like, I really like his like neo traditional type stuff, and so I'm like, you know what? I want him to do Grey Wind as a dire wolf, so that's where it came from.
I like
So
how
got-
the dog looks super. I mean, it looks mean and
Yeah.
like badass, but kind of that dog was badass because it was left in the woods to die and it
Yeah,
survived.
he did not. Yeah,
Yeah.
he survived like a hardcore motherfucker, and he was like the most dopiest, nice dog ever.
Yeah.
So like he's basically the wolf's the color of Grey Wind, and then I'm gonna have like the werewood tree from Game of Thrones because it's gonna be like the North.
And
So-
there was a tag team last night at the show called the North in Impact, and I get my phone buzzes, and Eddie Collins at the show, and he's actually he sat with us, and then he went with Charles down on the floor, and he's like, "Yo, start a USA chant," because they were Canadian. So we did, and they're like, "USA sucks." I'm like, "Build that wall," because like block off the North, yeah, block all that cold air from coming down.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it was really funny though.
Yeah, so I got the first session done, so I'm hoping to get it wrapped up in like
The leaves, what
January.
color are you gonna go with?
They're gonna be red.
I say red or orange. It would
They're-
make it pop.
They're gonna be red and
Like
the tree-
fall.
Basically, the behind's gonna be a frozen forest.
Yeah,
And the tree is gonna be white with the red leaves.
nice. I would definitely go with a fall look. I think it would look a lot cooler.
It'll be red. The actual like image, like it looks amazing. I can't wait till it's actually on me.
That's sick. Yeah, what Rish's haunted house is cool.
Yeah, he did that too.
Heidi was like, "I want a haunted house now." Yeah, she's seen it and she wants it so bad.
Yeah, he did it like it's like the aged gold frame with the haunted house, and it's really cool.
Heidi eventually wants to get like a whole horror movie sleeve.
That'd be cool.
Like she's obsessed with horror movies.
Nice.
Yeah, we actually just bought the Shutter account. Like,
Oh, really?
How is that?
I haven't looked at it yet. She's
Yeah.
all about it. Yeah, that's all she does. Like,
'Cause
probably
it-
upstairs.
is
She's
it
right
like-
now watching horror movies.
Isn't it only like $5 or $6?
It's
a month,
it's like
something
it's like $5 a month.
yeah. That's,
So for Halloween, we had a big party here, and it was. And you know how Christmas has the Yule log? Well, they have the Ghoul log, and it's just a pumpkin with and that's just like with spooky noises.
yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, on Shudder, but it's pretty cool. And they have like original movies, like you know how Netflix has like
Yeah.
so like Shudder makes their own original horror movies.
Nice.
It's pretty cool. Like, you should check if you're a
Yeah.
horror guy, check it out. Yeah. So, what'd you think of the Iron Maiden beer?
It's a British beer.
It was surprisingly
just-
good. Like, because I had like the Metallica beer.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, this is just a slightly like
It's-
better Miller Light.
exactly what it is.
You know,
Yeah,
but
it's
it's-
the
It
Ender
tastes
Night
super
Pills.
classic.
Yeah,
But
this tastes
it's
just like
good
an
beer.
English bitter that you get at an English pub.
It came. So I bought a big thing of it. My dad took the container. He claimed it, but it came with a pint glass, the bottle, and then like a nice container.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was pretty neat.
That was good. It's a standard. It's a British beer.
Tasty.
Kind of glad that we did that one last because, like, in terms of just regular beer, I like it a little warm.
Yeah.
So
That's the thing too. Like a lot of people are like, well, why do you leave your beers out? To me, with a craft beer, if you pull them straight out of the fridge and crack them and start drinking them, you don't get the flavor.
Yeah.
Yeah, the colder it is, the more flavors you lose. That's
Yeah.
why Coors Light pushes how cold their beer is because it tastes like shit.
Drink it super cold.
If when the mountains are blue, you can't taste it. So
And if those mountains aren't blue, you pour that shit right out and buy a new one.
but I mean, that's literally it. Like the colder it is, the more flavors you lose. So like
Yeah.
that's why all those like light beers, like they push, hey, how cold it is. It's like,
Yeah.
just because it
I'm
doesn't have any
gonna
flavor.
try out some of this Budweiser.
it's nice and warm and flavorful.
Well, I mean, don't be hoarding over there. Let's get a.
You want to try the Jim Beam one? I don't. It's a pony bottle.
pull it
I
out,
can't do
whatever.
much of it. Hold on, let me.
I think it's a 12-ouncer.
So real quick, if you're watching the video and it has a weird cutout,
Handsy bastard.
yeah, that I'm not
I'm
sure.
right here.
Yeah,
I'll
I'm
get
not
it.
sure where he put it, but if you're watching the video and had a weird cutout, for some reason our camera died. I don't know what's going on. I think the plug that powers it, so it doesn't go by battery, died. Where's your keychain again?
Is it? It's not.
Oh, never mind.
Sorry,
Nailed it.
it's twisted.
So this is a Budweiser with Jim Beam.
That wasn't a twist off.
I'm
I'm just that strong.
He's a maniac.
I'm busy analyzing this thing. It tastes surprisingly like Middleport.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does, Ron.
So what are some goals with the band for the next, let's say, year?
The biggest thing is getting something recorded.
Recorded.
We've been playing we played a lot of shows. We have a lot of we get really really good feedback. It's different. It's probably not accessible to everyone because it's
It's a little chaotic.
There's
you know?
essence of chaos, like Dillinger Escape Plan type shit. But then there's like death metal, and then there's hardcore. It's like I said, it's an amalgam of all we've done pretty much.
You're being generous.
So
a sweetheart.
the biggest deal is getting something down.
Take
Like I said, we hope to
yeah,
have
thank
drums tracked within the month, and then hopefully at least that way we can. Because the biggest thing that sucks is we got to get all the drums together because so they sound the same on the album.
Yeah.
We decided since we already have so much like time being held up into it that like we wanted to like do a good go. We didn't want to just put out like a rough demo.
Yeah.
So we actually had reached out to a guy named Alberto that did Crowbot's first album. Bishop introduced
Is that
me.
the Machine? Oh no,
No, that's not
their,
the Machine.
Their,
It was-
their paper album.
Yeah, no. It was
Something Supernatural.
the Machine. It was his apprentice, I think, at the time
Okay.
when they recorded that.
Yeah.
So one of the Tusco things that we did, it kind of got screwed up. I was in a rush to try and figure out a way to salvage it, and Bishop said, "Well, I can hook you up with this guy. He'll give you a fair price on it." So we did. So I've been back and forth with him. He's been giving us a lot of advice on like us trying to learn how to record ourselves and stuff. So we decided we're going to try and get all the raw tracks here, and then just send it down to him, and he's going to do all the mixing. But he's pretty pricey, so we're trying to just get it to the point where it's recorded, and then we're going to just put a single out for a little while with a video and push that until we actually get.
Do you have someone to shoot the video?
Danger.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that guy.
Yeah, he was supposed to. We actually, I put a deposit on him to do it, and we were supposed to play the show down. Was that
Easton.
down in Easton?
Yeah, One Center
And the
Square.
whole thing fell apart, and we ended up just not doing
Yeah.
it.
It ended up being
It wasn't worth it.
It ended up being like a
We got lied.
like a pay to play, and
Yeah,
we
we
got lied to.
we got lied
Yeah,
to.
we were told.
Oh yeah, I seen that.
Yeah, I ran it pretty hard on Facebook about
Yeah.
that.
Is that
I
the
think that's
guy?
what I posted Tom Taylor's Twitter and everything.
Yeah. Tom said- what club is that?
One Center Square in Easton.
Okay.
So basically, what it boiled down to is from the get go, we're like, we're not selling tickets. And there was only like 2 local bands. And it
Yeah.
turned into like 7 local bands. And the day before the show, where's your ticket money?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so we were like,
And
yeah, no.
When I initially talked to the promoter, like we've all worked with him for years and stuff, and he's always been decent to me. He never did anything shifty, but I've always heard stories about how he,
Yeah.
and
One
this-
band made like a video about him,
yeah,
which is hilarious. Like it's like a bed sheet. It's like a bed sheet over their van. It's an F his name.
Yeah.
I don't want to put his name out
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
And then the band's like, you know what? We're sick of this shit. It was like a wrestling promo.
when we had initially talked, it was like, yeah, send some tickets up. We'll get rid of what we can, but we're not contracting to pay for 50 tickets. And I just no one was interested. Like no one was really interested in the show, and we did what we could. We had a couple of people that were gonna buy some tickets, but then the day of, hey, where's you're gonna have all your money. Here's the check, and I'm like, we didn't agree to that, and then it was there's gonna be a house kit. Ron has to use all the other, which I guess.
And Ron has to use his drums.
yeah.
No, it's not. It was beyond that. I mean, house kits are one thing and all that stuff, but this
You have a
they're-
setup.
I have 2 setups.
I mean, but you have what you're comfortable with.
Right. But they also were forcing the pedals and the cymbals and just everything.
Which changes
like-
a lot.
Just pedals to a drummer,
Yeah.
are like picks to a guitar player.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, here's the thing.
One
If you-
half turn difference on a spring could make
Yeah.
or break your entire show.
That's
It's
literally
crazy.
like me
If you
trying
walked
to play
up
a
to-
handset on
Exactly.
a guitar that I've never played.
Yeah.
before.
So that's a thing when I think it's like when you go to a show and behind the curtain thing, like where drummers agree to share drum sets, and then you have that one drummer's like, you know what, I'm sorry, I don't want to do that, and then it's like, well, listen, what if you all had to share the same guitar all night?
Well, most of the time when we're sharing kits, it's just the kit. Like the drummers are
Yeah.
using their own
Yeah.
pedals, their own cymbals, their own
Yes,
snares.
yes,
right.
But when you have to actually use that one set kit, that's when they're, like I said, it's like us playing a guitar we never
Yeah.
Yeah, which I mean, we could probably fumble through it and
Yeah.
it'd be okay, but that's what it would be.
But you're,
okay.
Yeah.
but
and it's usually a shitty kit.
But
Yeah.
a musician's
Horrible.
A musician to go out there and play their show is like me recording a podcast. I want it to be I want to be better than the last one.
Right.
A wrestler, I want to go out and put the best performance on of my, because you never know who's going to watch it.
Yeah,
Or that could be your
Yeah,
break.
exactly. Because I mean, that's what sucks about when people try to push that stuff. Because I remember the one when I had my band as Each Day Dies. The first time the Misfits ever played at Goodfellas, we played with them. We sold 500 tickets for that show. Our band did. We're like, we're going on right before the Misfits. They tried to put us first because Danny is a left-handed drummer, and we couldn't share kits.
No.
Wow.
And we actually had Jerry only. He's like, no, they're opening. They're going on right before us. We had to actually get the Misfits to be like, no, they did their work.
It doesn't take long to change a drum.
No, and literally, like that, they tried to put us on first just because he's left-handed.
Yeah.
and he couldn't share
Yeah,
kit.
it's
that
obnoxious.
is that's stupid.
Yeah,
Drummers
like-
get the shaft everywhere, man. I'm
Yeah,
telling you.
yeah, like, nah.
Everywhere.
Well, it's pretty cool to have Jerry only speak up for us, though.
Yeah, that's a pretty awesome accomplishment. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I forget where we're at there. Oh, what your goals? You said you did a show.
Yeah, so the biggest thing is we want to get the single out and the video recorded. So we want to get that out, and then the EP will follow, hopefully.
Yeah.
So that's we want to do it the right way. We don't want to do it half-assed.
Yeah.
Like we put so much time into this, we need to do it the right way. We're hoping to get drums tracked within the next month, and then everything should fall together from there.
Now, who's playing bass right now?
Sam Grimm.
Sam Grimm.
Yeah.
Wasn't it Collins for a minute?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For a hot minute, yeah.
He got a new job and like
super busy.
He just didn't have the time. I meant to tell you that I ran into him up at Wise and we talked about it. I said to him like, "You're not." He's like, "No, man, I can't. I don't." Have it."
Yeah.
I was like, "It's all right. It's all right."
Yeah.
But it was Josh Meckes. It was Josh Meckes for the initial year or so, but I guess he pretty much just grew out of the metal thing. He doesn't want to be doing the really heavy stuff anymore.
And he has Garganos.
Yeah,
Gargons, yeah.
Gargons,
Gargons are
Gargons,
awesome.
yeah.
Him and his brother doing it
For
awesome.
two-piece band.
Yeah,
they're doing
absolutely,
awesome.
Yeah.
I think they're doing some stuff with Ghost County again. Where they're going to do
Yeah,
like a
I
show.
saw that they did.
Really?
They did a set with Ghost County.
Yeah, they're going to do
Okay.
like one
For some
Ghost County
event.
show.
I think they're doing like Thanksgiving Eve or something.
Yeah, it's going to be like a one-time off thing.
Yeah.
So
That's the thing with the Meckes brothers. Like, I'm not saying they put their band over another band, but they're very like how you are. Like, this is my vision. This is what I
Yeah.
want to work on. So like they're
Yeah.
very, and they put 110% of
Oh
what
yeah,
they're
dude,
doing.
the Gargon stuff is awesome. They
Yeah.
do a really good
That
job,
was,
and they're like
that was a
really dig
big
their
thing.
stuff.
Like he just wanted to focus on like the Gargon stuff
Yeah.
for the
Yeah.
most part. So he was like, "Hey,
Which
guys,
is
like-
respectable. I have a Gargon sticker somewhere on this table.
Right here.
Yeah.
Oh, right in front of you. Yeah. Yeah, I actually used to play soccer with them.
Nice.
I grew up playing soccer with
Another-
me and Justin. If we were on the field at the same time, like if we, like, they always try to put us like one on offense, one on defense because we were one of the better players. But if they put us both on offense, we were scoring 15 goals in one game.
Yeah.
We were unfucking stoppable. And it's crazy because then like everyone that played soccer with us in that age group were all like Shenandoah kids, and I was a Monte City kid. And then I stuck with soccer, and everyone was like, we're gonna move to football. And like Shenandoah Valley's football team was like the best football team of history, and all of them were soccer players first.
Yeah.
It was awesome. It was really
Yeah,
cool.
no, the Meccas, they're really good dudes.
Yeah.
Very talented.
But yeah, we got Sam, and he's always trying to just like play music with us.
Sam's super
what I mean?
talented.
Oh, he's amazing, and like that Dio tribute is
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
where like we kind of reconnected again, because like
Awesome.
after Tusco, we kind of not like we still like talk all the time and everything, but like we didn't really jam in a while, and then like just him and Smurf being up on stage, and like I was in the crowd, and like we just like we hung out afterwards and like got some food and beers and just and then he was like, hey, like, can I be the bass player? And
I'd messaged
Super
him.
nice. I've never talked to as someone who's like a Crowbot fan. I remember seeing the Paper album and seeing the very first show I've ever seen of Crowbot was a Faith in Exile show. It was Faith in Exile was on the bill. It was Faith. You guys opened, then it was Crowbot, and then it was Sinai Sunrise, and they debuted their new music video. at Goodfellas.
That was one of the biggest Goodfellas shows there ever was.
yeah,
man.
that was
awesome.
crazy.
It was awesome. It was so much fun. And the only reason I found out about that show was my cousin Brian Roach, because he was buddies with all those guys, and that was my first exposure to a local music show. he took me to a show years before that at to see Headplug with Randy. It was Randy, Bug, and all those guys. And then I was like, man, this is really cool. And he's like, yeah, man, the local music scene is cool. Like, Roach has always been about the local music scene. He always tell me, like, you got to go see this band. I was like, yeah, I got other things I'm doing. I'm watching the UFC pay-per-view this weekend. And I never went to support local music. And then he's like, yo, what are you doing this Saturday? I was like, nothing. He goes, it's a $3 ticket. Let's go to Goodfellas. You're going to see 3 awesome fucking bands. And I went, and I was like, all right. And that's what that night literally changed the direction of my life. It really did, because that night I met Cantwell. That night I met Jaybird. I met like the Crowbot guys. And then ever since then I was like, you know what? Like, this is cool. And I like the way that these local guys are doing their thing. And then ever since that night, like, I completely took a different shift. Like, I'm not a musician, but I always wanted to be like, I want to support this. This is cool. And these are people in my backyard doing cool shit. And like, that's what was cool, that me and Roach went to the Crowbot show to see, like, because it was like our first time seeing Crowbot. And now they're their 4th album in, signed, and we're seeing them in New York City, like New York. You know what I mean? Like, it was just a cool experience. Like, and I always treasure that. And it's funny because me and my cousin, like, we're super like rivals. Like, when we were younger, like, we wanted to kill each other. And now we're at the point now where, like, we bonded over music, and we bonded over not just music, we bonded over local music. Which is neat. Like, that's not something that happens very often. And Faith in Exile, Crowbot, and Cyanide Sunrise were those 3 bands that we kind of like did that with. It's always like that. Always has a special place in my heart. Like that show. Like, it was cool, and it was not Ghost County. It was a hand. It was Joe Coons, Tyler Smar. What the hell were they called? I have the CD in my car right now. I have all the CDs I bought that night.
It's how we put them on there so we can make it an all-age show. I remember that.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So Tyler Smar from Bad Maggie was there that night. Joe Coons, who's doing like an acoustic thing.
Right.
It was a cool show. It was fucking awesome.
That was like, that's, you say about like how we all get along and do everything. That show was cool. That was one of them where, like, whenever the 3 of us would get together for the limited time that we were able to do 3 band things like with Robot and everything, it was always an argument every time. Who's headlining?
Yeah.
Well, you guys are headlining. Well, no, we're not. You booked it. You're headlining. No, man. You deserve to headline. You're headlining. I don't think so. We love this song, so you're headline. It would be a bitch fight for like 45 minutes.
You guys had competition with one another where you're like, yo, fucking Cyanide just went out and did this shit. You know what I mean? We gotta fucking step it up. And it wasn't like it wasn't a hateful side. It wasn't a hateful rivalry. It was like, yo, they did fucking really good. We gotta step our shit up. And it was so healthy.
There's always like that big competition, like not like a negative one, but between like all of us, and like even like Pale Harvest. Like, yo, I heard Pale Harvest like literally set something on fire at the Roundhouse. like how are we gonna top this the next night? Like, what the fuck? Like,
well, the thing really wasn't anything that my band ever did. It was all our fucking fans were doing.
You can't say that. Once upon a time, I do remember someone throwing an amplifier into a fucking creek.
Well, that's because my jackass frontman knocked a beer down the fucking thing and on stage. It was no good to me then.
You know who told me that story? Rob Hampton.
Did he? Oh my god, I had those fucking poor guys cornered against the fucking rock. And this, like, my mom was still coming to shows. They had my mom calm me down. Like,
when me and Rob Hampton were doing the whole like the Goodfellas project, we were like, let's do this and make this a thing again. Rob, actually, he just messaged me about a show that's coming up soon. Rob, he messaged, he's like, yeah, a lot of crazy shit happened here. And he's like, you know, I can't even do like an impersonation of Rob, but he's like, you know, he kind of like has that real metal, you know. Yeah, man, this is the back room, and that's where Header and Steve Fulton piss on that couch. And then crazy things happen. I remember Smurf picked up his amp and threw it right in that creek right there.
To add an insult to injury that night, that was they had didn't they jump on that show or something? And it was, they weren't supposed to be on, and it switched the whole night around. So I was just mad as shit at everything that night. So I go to like load gear up, and then their trailer was like backed up to the door. I'm just like, fuck. Like, nothing's going right. And it was just like, you know what am I even putting this thing in a truck for? Like,
right. So here's, actually, I just checked my messages with Hampton. He said, I won't read the first part of it, but he said, I'm thinking about if you want to help doing a Toys for Tot benefit with a bunch of bands at Goodfellas soon. Would it be something you'd want to help put something together? So if there's any bands or you guys are interested in doing a Toys for Tot thing and helping local kids get some toys under their tree this year,
I think every band should be doing it.
Yeah.
Hampton wants to put it together. He wants to do it at Goodfellas.
Get us some dates, Rob. We'll
Yep.
see what we can do.
Yeah, 100%.
Yep.
I'll just give him a thumbs up right
Dates,
now.
dates,
Yeah.
dates. Yep.
Yep.
I think we'd all do it. I think the Toys for Tot stuff.
If we do
Yeah.
double duty again, as long as we're not back to back, that's all I ask. Yeah. That's all I ask.
Well, that works too because this could be like Skookstock 2 for me because my my little brother did not get to see Skookstock. He is deployed, not deployed, but he's in the service and he's stationed right now in San Diego for the Navy. So he's kind of like working like armed security in like this one hospital. But he comes home on the 18th of December. So I'm trying to find like shows after the 18th to like January 3rd or 4th when he comes home. So if that show is after that date, that'd be perfect because I can get him to go see. Last time he was home, he's seen Mahantungo. We helped out with Mahantungo and Bad Maggie. We did a show and that was like the only one that was available. The cool thing is he comes home on the 18th and there's a Crowbot show on the 22nd at the Chameleon Club.
Oh, yeah.
And he's never seen Crowbot live, so he's super fucking excited. And it's all ages, so his girlfriend is, she's 19, 20. So now she can go because the Community Club's all ages. Like, he's super, super pumped. But yeah, if we can get something going for Toys for Tots, it's Goodfellas.
Absolutely.
I think that'd be cool.
Absolutely.
Get us some dates.
I'm all for it.
Pretty sure.
How did you guys do last night with the Hillside?
Good. We after production, everything, we $400 to donate to the SPCA.
Nice.
So
I
we're
came
gonna
in
split it
super late,
between-
and the guy was like, "Dude, there's only like you're halfway through the last band." I said, "Here's my door money. Like it's going."
Yeah,
today.
no, we had a good turnout. We got some good food donations to them. They were the shelters were there, so they took them right off the bat. So we're gonna take. We have $200 for both to take down this week. So
Perfect. Yeah, man. Always like that. That's the biggest thing we're trying to do on this show is, man, is support local. Whether it's artists, whether it's musicians, local business. Just we can make a change in our community. Like I'm not saying that the fucking major corporations are the devil and don't shop at Walmart. I'm not saying anti anything. But if you want to go buy something, check what's local first. Like
Well, especially like the shelters need our help. I mean, people are scumbags and they like to abandon their animals because they outgrew being a puppy.
Yeah.
Or because of some stupid, or I had to move and I can't take my dog. If I have to move and I can't take my dog,
I ain't moving.
I'm not moving.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like-
that's the thing too. Like, I just had a baby, and I don't know how my dog's gonna be with that baby. Your dog is part of your family.
Yeah,
Like,
I hate that shit.
yeah.
Yeah.
And what's I gonna say? But like Hillside just posted, someone sent back one of their raffle tickets with a thing telling them about you need to get real dogs, not pit bulls. It's like fuck you.
Oh, really?
I'm like, you need to jump off a fucking cliff.
Yeah.
Because like pit bulls are the sweetest fucking
100%.
dogs ever. Fucking mayhem.
I was going to say
Smurf is
the
mayhem.
the biggest
dog.
pit bull I ever met is the fucking Mayhem. He's just a
Mayhem.
sweetheart.
Smurf's dog Mayhem is my best friend.
He's the
When I'm over
only
at
he's
Smurf's house.
he's the only one out of any band that I've ever been in that's been at all practices.
He's the most reliable one.
Yeah. Even I miss him, and he hangs out with he's just a music dog.
He's legitimately part of the band.
Yeah, he'll literally like sit in the middle of the room while we're practicing. We're like, "Isn't this too loud for you, doggo?" He's like, "Fuck you, I'm staying here."
Yeah. Well, I definitely have the same opinion too. With like, I grew up, and my favorite breed is Rottweilers. I'm a Rottie guy, man. I love, and people see Rottweilers and they're like, "Oh my god, they are like they're mini demons. They will kill you."
Shitty dogs are a product of shitty owners.
Exactly.
Yeah. Simple as that.
Honestly, the
Dude, Chihuahuas are the worst.
Yeah. They will fucking
F
kill
and A.
If any dog should be terrified of, it's a Chihuahua.
Every Rottweiler I ever came across, they're the best family fucking. Same with pit bulls. They're amazing family dogs. If you socialize them, if you're a good owner, you get them around other dogs, you get them around people. They're fucking huge teddy
They're just
bears.
big babies with big
Like-
stupid heads and smiles.
Like people used to see Cujo. Unfortunately, he passed away. But like if he was still here, like Cujo was fucking. If he was standing here right now, his chest would be touching the table, and he could put his head on the table. He was that fucking big. He was
Yeah.
huge. He was his head was literally this big. He was like a fucking prize. If he was an elk, you would mount him onto your fucking wall. He was huge, but he drooled like a monster, and he knew if you hated it. Like if you're like, "Oh god, your fucking dog's gonna drool on me," he'd be like, "All right, bet," and he'd go get a drink of water,
And then drool
and
more.
come back with his huge, and he would just run up and just wipe his fucking mouth on you.
Awesome.
He was great, but
yeah.
like. People see big dogs and like they're gonna bite me.
They're just a product of their owner, literally.
Yeah.
Except for Chihuahuas, they're the
Yeah.
exception. They're just all assholes.
Suck, right?
Our Chiweenie, so we had a Chiweenie that passed away like back in
Oh, that was the one that
March.
tried to fight everybody. You
Peanut.
said.
So he was super, like when my wife was not home, he was the best dog ever. Like, he was my buddy. We'd hang out, but
It's
when
like a
she
kid.
was around,
It's like a kid when their parents aren't home.
when she was around, he was super protective of her. Like, I couldn't kiss her goodbye in the morning. Like, when I would leave for work, like, she'd still be in bed, and I'd be like, goodbye, and he'd be like, "Barrr!" Like, trying to attack me. I'm like, Peanut, I'm going to spike you off the ground. But, like, our big girl, so we have a Catahoula pit mix, and she's like 60 pounds or so, but she tried to kill him several times. So the one time we were fostering a husky puppy from Hillside as well, and this is when we had to decide at the time we couldn't keep him. But he was trying to play with, the puppy was trying to play with Peanut. Peanut attacked Puppy, and Penny like spiked him off the ground.
Like, stop doing that.
Yeah, so like he comes in the house, his neck's bleeding, blood's pouring out of his neck. He's like hobbling around. So like we take him to like the ER. He spent a day in the hospital. He was fine.
Yeah.
Then so he passed away of cancer. So he was going through his cancer treatment. So Christmas Eve last year, I'm getting ready to go to work. Because I volunteered to go in because I was getting a comp day if I went in for that day. I was like, sweet. So I'm up. I'm like literally just have a pair of jeans on and socks. I'm looking through my closet for a shirt, and all I hear is barking and screaming. And I'm like, what is happening? I'm like, I sprint down. I just like fell like 3 times in our hallway because we have like the wood flooring. And I fell like 3 times in the hallway. I jumped down our entire flight of stairs to see Rich trying to like cover Peanut while Penny has his head in her mouth. So what happened is apparently like Penny was coming in, she got too close to him and he snapped at her, and she just like, nope. She's like, nope. I'm like, he's dead. He's fucking dead. Like, there's blood. He's laying on the ground, not moving, blood pouring out of his neck. He shit himself. I'm like, he's fucking dead. She's like, take him down to the vet, And I'm like, so I scoop him up, I wrap him in a blanket, I throw him in my car. I just had like a leather jacket and no shirt on. Driving like 70 miles an hour down the Gordon Trail to...
On Christmas Eve to a vet.
Christmas Eve to Mountain Shadow. And this
Love
fucker
Mountain Shadow.
stands up, jumps up into my passenger seat and is like, doo-doo-doo. It's like blood still coming out of his neck. And I'm like, I get him to the vet. The vet takes him in. He comes back out. He's like, I don't think we can kill Peanut. It's all superficial wounds. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I'm like, I thought he was dead.
Yeah.
So
here's a cool shout out to Mountain Shadow. We had our Rottweiler. Her name was Angel. She actually kind of not attacked, but my little dog, lady that you see when she came in, she's all bark. When she was little, she used to fuck with Angel. And Angel was like, listen, I'm a fucking 180-pound Rottweiler. All I want to do is lay here. I'm just a lazy ass dog. Don't fuck with me. And lady used to run up and bite her ears. So the one time we're all in the kitchen, no one's in the kitchen. The dog's in the kitchen. All we hear is, yarr! And we run in, and lady has her paw up like the dog bit it, and she's limping. Like, oh, I just survived a war. And the dog, and we yelled at Angel, like, yo, you're bad. You can't do that. And like, we had a timeout spot for this dog. Like, go lay down. And she'd go by the back door and lay down. Like, I was bad. But the whole time, the dog's like it wasn't. She didn't want to stay in her timeout spot, which is like unheard of. Like, this dog listened to everything you did. And then like a few weeks later, we're all in the living room, and lady walks up and bites Angel in the ears, and she just goes Arr! And barks at her, just not do it. And lady immediately goes, oh. Oh, she's faking it. Yeah, she completely faked it.
Our little dude Tyrion did that shit. So our Shiba Inu the one time, like Tyrion was annoying him, and he just like he snapped at him, and he started limping on the wrong leg.
Yeah, that's what she did. So the
Like, you little asshole.
lady got barked at from this side, which would have clearly been this arm, and she goes, "Oh, I'm fucked up." Yeah, like, you son of a bitch.
No, they're funny though.
It's like trying to bust the workers' comp case.
Yeah.
Like one of those videos with the dash cams,
Yeah.
where the guy jumps on the hood of a car.
Yeah.
Oh god. Oh, that's why you got shot.
Yeah, the dogs are amazing. So that's a cool last shout out here. We'll end on that. We'll just get a quick plug here, but check out Hillside SPA and help your local shelters as well. Yeah, but what do you guys got going on? Any shows coming up?
Taking some time right now to get
time.
the biggest thing is getting music out there, because every reaction we've been getting has been positive, and we need to get something out there for people to hear.
Well, we need the music, we need the merch.
Yeah.
To,
So
we're
there's
setting all that stuff up.
There's a lot of stuff coming within early 2020, I'd say.
Who do you guys got doing your merch for your show?
We don't have anything yet. We're touring some different ideas around,
Okay.
possibly even potentially a name.
Well, you know
change,
me.
but-
Yeah.
I'm
Actually,
a sucker for a T-shirt. So
yeah, there will be
yeah.
some.
There'll be T-shirts.
We're potentially considering a name change too, so we'll see what
Oh, yeah?
happens. Yeah.
because
So-
you ruined it with saying you're good with your hands.
Yeah.
They can't be
Yeah.
the hands resist if you're fucking.
Well, that's kind of what our problem. Like everything we merch ideas, like we don't want hands on it. So,
Yeah.
but
That's about where we're at.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
All of that back end stuff that no one sees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got to get all organized.
we have a
Yeah.
new song in the works. One or two new. We have two.
Two that we were starting to work
Yeah.
with, just putz around with the practices.
Yeah, so we have a few new things coming out. We hopefully we'll have
I'm
some
happy
songs.
Grimm's in the band again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, oh, cool, Chris. Chris is the only Collins I don't think I've had on the show yet. I've had every Collins except the other sister,
Carrie?
Carrie.
Yeah.
No, Carrie's a drummer.
Yeah.
I had her. The other isn't there another sister? Or there's someone else in the band that does something like someone in the family that doesn't play an instrument. I could be wrong. I don't know. Maybe I'm an idiot.
Well, Keith, Carrie, Eddie, Chris.
Oh, then I have. Chris is the only one then.
Yep.
Yeah. I've had Billy. Chris is the only one. I had the dad. I had everybody.
you have
I don't
Keith?
have. I had Keith.
Oh,
yeah.
he was here with Hooligan, I think.
with Hooligan. Yeah.
Yeah. Biggest problem is my beer is empty. I just want to point that out.
We'll cut the camera here and we'll have another one. I got more in there for you.
He's cutting us off before we reach
Fucking
the
drummer
other.
kills my fucking 40. You made fun of me for half the show.
I didn't make fun of you. I support it. The brown bag is everything, man. It doesn't matter what it is.
We did a
as long
bangin',
as it's in a brown bag.
We did a Bangin' Beers episode with the boys upstairs, and it was the first episode we did where it wasn't craft beers, and it was just
all
7
malt liquor,
brown
wasn't
bags.
it?
It was all malt liquors. We did Colt 45, Hurricanes, Mickey's,
Camo.
Guinness,
Camo.
not Guinness, Genesee. The only one that was horrible I could not drink was
Old English.
fucking no. Old English wasn't terrible. Colt 45 wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Works every time.
What the fuck? It was fucking
Hurricane?
Steel Reserve. Oh, man, it's like gasoline.
Yeah. Steel Reserve is a tough one.
That's
a tough one.
terrible.
Yeah.
Dude, the Mickey's hand grenades did not define like my early 20s.
Oh, dude. Back in the day,
It was like $7.99 for like a case of glass.
The Tommy's
grenades.
M&S 5 for 5 double deuces.
Yeah.
Fueled my late teens and early 20s.
And we ended with a Mad Dog 2020 Orange Julius, and we literally killed the bottle with one pour. Every single person was on that show the next day. Like Ben's like, bro, am I the only one who's shitting my fucking brains out? I was like, nope. And Steve's like, dude, I got so fucking like Steve, Tom, everyone's like, we're dying over
That's
here.
what it'll do.
We can't stop shitting. It was the only show we did where it was kind of nutty like that, but it was fun. But yeah, thank you guys so much for coming in. This is fun, man.
Yeah,
No,
thanks
it's
for
a
having
blast.
us, man.
Yeah, like I said, Hands Resist 2020. We got a lot of cool stuff coming out. So
Awesome. I'm pumped. So go out and support your local music business. Everything you got, check the links below. And that'll do it for interviews with everyday
don't
people.
forget to hit subscribe and that little bell.
Yes, please hit that goddamn subscribe button. I'm stuck at 300 and some. I can't break it.
We'll get there, buddy.
We'll see you guys. Thank you guys so much. That was fun.
Living my life, just living my life, just living my life. It's my time. Just living my life, just living my life, just living my life. It's my time. Athletic at the peak of my life. Slipped a couple times. I was speeding on ice. Never took a risk. Then you cheating your life. You never took a risk. Then you cheating your life. It's a hole in my heart, probably never be filled. And part of me thinks it'll never be healed. I lost some of my family to the dope. Overflow my mind with positive vibes, that's how I cope. They ask if I stop, I tell them no. Speak foul on my name, clean your mouth, that was soap. I'm crying right now while I'm writing this shit. I'm dying inside just from fighting this shit. Amidst all the darkness, I see light in this bitch. Give me one small spark and I'm igniting this bitch.